Is that what you got?
Yeah.
You got the clap?
I got it here, dude.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No, we did none of that here. But what we have done is we have come to Farm Jam 2020. I'm here with the homies, Chad Christianson, Tyler Bereman, and we are doing Gypsy Tales live from Farm Jam 2020. Boys.
Live on the scene.
Live.
Scene of the crime.
It is. What's been happening, bro? Have you enjoyed your time here?
I have absolutely enjoyed my time here. It's the best place in the world, honestly. The places a dirt bike will take you. And yeah, man, just being here, hanging with all the mountain bike boys, all the BMX boys, and shredding some of the best jumps in the world. And it's been quite fun for sure. Just a little bummed on the weather. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. It's clanking around in the shed a bit, but Mama Nature decided to show her face, and she's being a real bitch today.
I know she's not cooperating, but some good times have still been had. Chatty Christianson, Chatty Wits, aka Chatty Clips. You have been responsible for quite the vibe this week, bro.
Hey, cheers. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to have fun. First time to New Zealand, so I wanted to make sure everyone was having as much fun as me. So, keep it real.
We're trying.
Yeah,
We're trying, Chatty.
A little bit of weather, but as they say, the show must go on.
If you need a hype man, Chatty Clips is your guy.
I want Tyler to explain how you guys met and your first interaction, because Tyler has a pretty sick story about just how dope Chatty is.
Yeah, so it was 4 years ago now, I think.
Yeah. Like
I went to the North Shore of Hawaii, and Chatty lives right across from where Pipeline breaks, right across Cam Highway. So I was there with the Weed Maps crew and a bunch of skaters, surfers, BMXers. I was the only moto guy at the time, just hanging in the house right on Sunset, and Chatty was out sniping clips and started helping the whole film crew that was making the edit that week, and me and Chatty just hung out and shot the shit. I was like the only moto guy, so it was kind of, didn't really have a ton of people to talk to. I mean, you were hanging and mingling, but me and Chatty just sat and talked shit the whole time. And yeah, next thing you know, I was there a couple years later and back on the North Shore, and got to hang with him quite a bit and watch him Skype some clips from the sand. And then fast forward, and I gave him I remember he was super hyped on mountain biking, so I gave him a set of my Fast House gear, and he was always sending me clips from mountain biking and stuff on the North Shores and some insane trails. And then fast forward a few years later, he met the mountain bike boys over there filming, and then you get to hang with him again stateside. He came over for Black Stage Fest.
Yep.
And next thing you know, he was at Rampage. So now me and Chatty get to hang out all the time. I haven't quite made it back to the North Shore like I'd like to, but stoked to be cruising the world with this dude, and he brings the vibes all the time.
It's crazy that I feel like every trip that you do, you meet a dude that you just become like full homies with for life.
Well,
and
lifelong.
Chatty's that dude for me on this trip.
He got a tattoo this trip from Neil, from Dust and Bones Tattoo.
Yep.
It says "Friends are family," and that is damn true. You meet a lot of damn cool friends, and turns to family, on the road, and getting to experience all this shit together all the time.
And that's the rules, friends are family, and that's how we treat them. So
where'd that vibe come from in you, Chatty?
Fuck, it's just always been that way. Like, always been hyped on the people I'm around, and somehow get to be around some good people. And like, even when I met Tyler, like, I had no clue who he was. I was like, oh, just some like blonde hair kid, whatever.
Cali boy.
Yeah. And everyone was like, yo, you have to see this kid on the bike. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then like when I see it in the long run, I'm like, yo, I was kicking it with this kid. So like, it's just always been like, you just treat everyone as like it's your homie or someone from high school, and like that's how it goes. So yeah, I've been super lucky. Like, everyone I meet, just like it's like another homie, and see where it goes. And I can't be more hyped to be able to see Tyler. I
think him being on the North Shore too, it's like just teaches you the aloha spirit and respect and all that, and he's got it and some.
Yeah, cheers. And to meet the homie, like, it's been insane with Jace and Jaden. Like, been such a good time, like, just to see how psyched he is. I'm like, dang, like, must be doing something right for sure.
Yeah, no, it's been sick. It's been it's one of those trips where we spoke about it a bunch, that our plan was to not have a plan basically, and it's just been one of those trips that's worked out so sick by not having a plan. Like meeting Carson and Jasper and Brandon and Chatty, like
all the boys.
We've kind of just had like the most dialed crew for an entire week.
And then for the Frew bros to bring us all together. Yeah. We're all hanging in Queenstown. We get to watch them do their thing, and then they come out here and I get to ride and they watch me do my thing. And then, just the Frew bros, like so much hard work goes into this whole thing and bringing just all the like culture clash of action sports together. It's all time. Like you can see the vibe up there is at an all time high. Everyone's amping even with the wind.
Yeah.
And like full on, like if you build it, they will come.
Dude, that is 100% right.
We are in the middle of nowhere in my mind. So like, a couple hours from Queenstown, just beautiful rolling hills everywhere.
The only further south we go is Antarctica.
Perfect, baby. Let's go.
Keep it rolling.
Let's go.
Dude, but it's so true that it's like realistically we're inside a video game right now.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
This farm is so crazy, and if you could build like the Tony Hawk skater for free riding and BMX and the dirt jump scene, you would literally build this property.
This is it.
Yeah.
No question.
And then to build the half pipe and that hip feature in as well.
Yeah, a lot of hard work went into it for sure. You can tell that they're putting their heart and soul into this whole thing. It's by riders for riders. I mean, Brett's out here riding the BMX line, the mountain bike boys and stuff, and then Dan used to ride all the time, and he crushes it too. So it's good to see like the by riders for riders thing. They're building features that they want to see, and man, it's cool just to see all their hard work and their passion and dedication to it. And like Chatty said, if you build it, they'll come. There's dudes from all over the world that are coming here, and just simply because of the vibe, it doesn't matter who wins or judged or whatever. Like everyone's here, traveling the world and getting to experience this insane property, and
not by obligation, like full on,
sure.
Like they want to be here. They're hyped on the scene, jumps.
I can probably speak for most of everyone out here. No one had to be here.
No.
Everyone wants to be here.
Dude, we spoke about it, but we talked about this trip when you were hurt. We said, let's just do Farm Jam, and it was just one of those. You throw it out into the wind, but it's like we kind of knew like this is we are actually going to make this happen.
Yeah, we made it happen too. I was psyched that kind of worked out that I came to Oz first. Unfortunately, cooked myself, but I was stoked to get back on the bike yesterday. That was pretty much a moment of truth for me to see if I could slide my foot into the boot and slid it on in there without having to spit on it. And it was good. It was tighten that thing up and didn't feel too bad. And I actually riding, it was definitely sore at first, but riding I think broke it, maybe made the blood flow a little bit more and broke it loose a bit, and it actually feels better today. It's definitely still sore, but it could be worse, man.
Can always rest on the plane ride home.
Exactly. We got 14 hours of rest, so.
What was your thoughts on seeing TB ride out here?
Oh, always so blown away. Like, I don't get to see that much, especially like living on Hawaii and everything. Like, we got maybe one moto track on the whole island, and like the guys rip for sure. But to see TB is just like another level, like, and like just so raw. And like when we rolled up to like the little quarter pipe setup yesterday, I'm like, yo, this thing is made of concrete. Like that is gnarly. And dude, the guy just skies it and just, puts on the show. Like, doesn't matter if his ankle's blown, what the conditions are, he's gonna go for it.
Gotta put on a show, man. You gotta provide for everyone that came out here, and of course the Frew bros for all their hard work. Like the features they built was insane, so I can't let a little bum ankle rob me from that. I'm all the way here, and I'll push through it just to have some fun.
Dude, I mean, I'm proud of you for the way that you've handled this whole week, man, because it was just at no point, even with how bad shit was, did it seem like you were going to give up on this whole process,
Definitely. That was the moment of truth yesterday morning, getting here, and I was definitely skeptical and throwing it in the boot, and it wasn't too bad, so I was stoked to get through those sections. It was like that free ride section up top, but the big 5th gear jump is probably my favorite jump in the world. It's so epic. Just have to yank for it, and then yank a turn up just by having to jump it straight, and it's like the perfect turn up jump.
And straight 12 o'clock. Straight 12 o'clock vertical. Like
insane, huh?
Insane.
Yeah, and I think like it was pretty windy up there, and there was a couple sketchy moments, but I think splitting the wind, like the way we were throwing the turn-ups off that thing, we were kind of like splitting the wind with our bike, basically 12 o'clock straight up and down, and kind of wasn't too bad for that one, but we had a bit of a ride this morning, and the wind was insane.
Yeah.
Like, I've ridden some crazy winds before, just having to race and stuff, and they can't really cancel a race because so many people come from multiple states and whatever, and like World Minis back in the day.
Yeah, because Vegas used to get bad. Huh?
Yeah, we'd take off on the left side of the lip and land on the right, and it was super sketchy, but I think today might have taken the cake on the heaviest winds I've ever ridden in.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much had to just throw your whip into the wind every time, and if you didn't quite throw it hard enough, the wind would just grab you like a block and just pull your wheels out from under you. So it's a couple of sketchy moments, but we went out and rode for a bit and gave the people what they want, and yeah, hopefully we're still on call here, waiting for a window with the wind, because it can fuck right off.
Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. Should we give it a wind test? Yeah.
Well played. Well played.
Stole that one from Carson. Thank you, Carson.
So, Chatty, what's your plans? Where are you at filming wise at the moment? What are you working on?
So right now I'm with the boys, Reed Boggs, Ethan Nell, and DJ Brand, and
the Grom crew.
Yeah, the boys, my little boys.
How's it feel babysitting those motherfuckers?
It's good. I love it. Like, honestly, they're a family like anyone else. So yeah, it's good fun. But yeah, like, I feel like we all learn so much, and with any trip, like, you learn so much about yourself and everyone else and like everything. So it's sick. Like, we definitely have our times, but like the vibe is high. Like, and we're psyched, you know.
That's one good thing about a Grom crew too. Is just the psych level is always at an all-time high,
through the roof. So yeah, they're on. So, and when it's time, like, they're going. So it's sick, and I love it. Like, those boys, like, Reed's taking care of me so much, so like I can't thank him enough. Like, that's how I got like towards Rampage and Black Sage and everything, and get to hang with all you guys. So forever thankful, and it's psyched to work on more projects with them. Like, usually, like, I would spend like the last 6 or 7 years or so on surfing, so to get into like mountain biking and moto, like, just makes me so froth. Like, it's something different, like such a cool vibe, and just like try to bring my eye into that arena.
So you've got a pretty crazy story, right? Because you weren't you shaping boards for Pizel before you like saved up to buy your camera?
Yeah. So
how's that whole work?
So I was kind of like, so it was more so when I first moved to Hawaii, I was working at a surf shop, and then like just like standard just grinding the surf shop, and like John Pizel would come in and out and stuff, and like one day I was like, yo, like, I'm like kind of getting over this. I want to move on to something else. Like, I'd be hyped to work in your factory if anything comes through. So over time it kind of worked in, and then I started working on his CNC machine, and I was running his CNC machine and some computer work for him. Like, and then got into that, and then through that got more into filming, and then just through all that started to make my way into like pushing towards filming. Like, surfboards is amazing, and you learn so much, like proper hard work. So like, it was a sick vibe, but yeah, like, really thankful for what I've got to do, for sure.
So where does your passion for filming come from?
I think more so just photography. Like, I grew up, like, was keen on photography. I think like my family's always been a bit into it, so like always have an eye for it, and just like love watching surf movies, going through surf mags, like everything, and just dig the photos. So like, it's gnarly these days. Like, it used to be like a issue every month or so now, and like now it's like maybe quarterly, if any, like magazines. So I think the surf mags really got me into it and got me so hyped on it. So like, beyond thankful, and then it just like put me in the place, and I just nerd out on surf movies and all that. So yeah, and then kind of just
to see the print, go dead. Dude. But it's now, from print to digital age, and now you're keeping up with the times.
Exactly.
Now you're in the digital age, crushing shots.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Do you think it'll come back around? Like, I feel like everything comes back around in cycles.
Yeah.
Do you think the film thing will ever come back? The print thing will come back around?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, just like with film and like everyone's into their old cameras and film cameras right now.
Yeah,
like
true, huh?
I feel like there's always a place for it. Like if there wasn't surf mags, like who knows what we'd be doing. And like I love like flipping through it, putting out the poster, putting it on my wall and everything.
Yeah.
So I know like Instagram is kind of providing a different platform for everyone these days, and that's sick, like because we can still put our work out and get recognized. Like without it, like I probably wouldn't know a lot of people, but like that just like physical copy in your hands was pretty cool, and you can put it on your wall. Like you're not gonna tape your phone up to the wall with a picture of Tyler Bereman.
No.
You know.
When did you move to Hawaii? How old were you?
I want to say like 22, so I've been there like 9 or so years now.
Where'd you move from?
I moved from San Francisco. I grew up in San Francisco, California, just north in like San Rafael. So, and then after that was living in Santa Cruz for a couple years, going to junior college at Cabrillo. And then, like back then everything was surfing, only surfing, like that's it.
Yeah.
And then moved to Hawaii, and then was just surf shops, surfboards, and filming. And then eventually, like I got so burnt out on it because my life was just that. I came home, rode some friend's mom's bike, and like by the end of the trip bought a mountain bike and brought it back to Hawaii. And now I'm kind of stuck in this. Nice. But like I love it because it gives me an outlet for when the surf
isn't good.
Exactly. Like I don't have to go out there and grind and get frustrated. I just jump on my bike or grab a shovel and kind of go mess around.
That's super cool. So did you move to Hawaii with like no real contacts in surfing?
Not so much in surfing. I had some really good friends. Like my mom and brothers were born and raised in Hawaii, so like we had some good friends we were like in contact with, and like one of them, Nat Woolley, like worked for Eric Arakawa, so we were always kind of around the surfboard factory, and like I was like, yo, this is a dream job, you know? So like it was sick, and kind of weaseled into that. And then like once I got there, just kind of try and make it my own and make it happen, and somehow we're sitting here now. You got to be super humble, I reckon, to start at like the very bottom, like start at a surf shop, because there's definitely like, especially in the Instagram generation, is like if you're kind of half popping on Instagram, you kind of feel like you shouldn't have to do that like entry level. It takes like a humble person to like want to start at the very bottom, right? And the amount that you learn through that, like you're gonna take your beatings, you know, you're gonna get bruises, you're gonna like deal with some stuff you're super not keen on, but like you learn so much and then take it to the next level, and people give you some proper respect. I'd like to think. Is that hard? Oh, sorry, Tyler, you
Team never give up, baby.
Dude.
My boy. You gotta want it,
dude. I've been this guy, like team never give up. Once all that came out, like, and we just say that at Rampage, I was like, yo, like it's really what's going on and it's happening. So like somehow, for sure. Dude, was it hard being a haole at 22 on the North Shore, like trying to infiltrate the surf industry? Yeah, I mean, like not so much. Like you just like, I've grown up just knowing like respect and all that, so I just like kind of try like tread lightly, and then just been like lucky with some really, really good friends along the way. I feel like Chatty doesn't get lucky. I feel like Chatty makes it luck. Yeah, dude, just been pretty stoked. But like I remember like Cheeseburger, like Keone Nozaki, who gave me my first real gig in surfing, that Mason's hose friend, and I'd film him and Mason and stuff, and then met a lot of the Volcom guys and just kind of weaseled my way. But just tried to be me and try to be humble and cool, and somehow it's been working out for sure. Dude, epically winning at that strategy. Cheers, boys.
Keep going, Chatty.
You guys are legends. Thank you so much.
So what else, boys? What else has grabbed your attention this Farm Jam? Has there been any standouts apart from the alien Brandon seminar? It's insane watching that dude ride.
He's definitely a treat to watch ride. I mean, all the boys like have insane style and flow so well through these trails. It's super cool to just sit back and watch your friends do their thing, and have the pleasure of watching some of the best dudes in the business do their thing. So it's cool.
Is it part of the magic of this event is the fact that it brings different people together? Like, you've got the mountain bike dudes, then you've got the BMX guys, then you've got the moto dudes. Everyone's kind of sessioning together.
Yeah.
And do you think that there's a certain energy that gets created
there's an insane energy there, just like I said, the culture clash of action sports, and having the mountain bike and BMX boys here with us. I mean, pretty much the only other time of year that we get to have this going on is X Games, you know.
Yeah.
And X Games, you know, you have skaters, BMX, moto,
But it seems more clinical,
everyone
right?
together, but this is that without the pressure levels, you know.
Yeah.
There's no pressure here. This is 100% purely based around fun and free riding. So that's what's going down every which way. I mean, of course, like each genre of action sports out here between mountain bike, BMX, and moto, like we're all, it's by riders, for riders, driven, judged by the riders, so everyone, you know, can sit back and watch everyone ride, and you know, at the end of the day, the riders judge on each other, and for the most part, it speaks for itself. If dudes are crushing it on each section, then you know, it's obvious. You know, it's not like a playing favorites game or anything like that. It's just it's real, and I think, you know, no matter what place anyone gets out here, it's like everyone's having such a damn good time that it doesn't matter.
And so much like mutual respect, like you know, like you see these people like you've probably never seen before just because you're in your mountain bike or BMX or whatever, and everyone's like, yo, who's that, like just hyping on everyone's style. So like it's sick to see that in such a relaxed environment, but yet everyone's gonna push it and put on a sick show.
It almost seems like, oh sorry bro,
I was gonna say, and it's cool, just like, you know, I love watching like Brandon Simek ride, and the fact that like I could watch him do his thing just so effortlessly, and then he comes down and he's sniping photos of me on the hip section, and then he comes up to me and he's like, oh man, that was so sick, like you crushed it. And he was like, you know, he said the same thing, he like loved watching me ride, and like it's just, you know, the camaraderie and the respect that it goes between the transfer between all these sports, and just, you know, the respect levels are at an all-time high for everybody, you know, so it's cool.
It's definitely, that's been one of the more fun things about this trip on my end, is like meeting new people, meeting new super like-minded people, and then just seeing the respect that everybody has for each other's own individual skill set. And like even with like the Jaden and Jasper filming and Chatty Phil, like everyone's kind of hyped on what we're all bringing to the table. And it's like at the end of this, there's going to be all of this content, there's going to be photos, there's going to be, you know, so much that kind of goes out, and it's like a result of everybody coming together. And then underneath all of that is you've got the Frew brothers that build it, and they will come.
For sure.
Insane.
Cannot thank those boys enough, man. Like this is, you know, this is my hands down my favorite event of all time. You know, it's just the vibe level and just having everyone together, and the best place in the world. That drive in.
Unreal. Bit windy in the Winnebago, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. The drive-in was kind of gnarly.
Very gnarly. Dude, you get coming over some of those turns, and you get like, you know, the little rise and then drop, and you come over the rise and around the turn, you're turning into the wind, and all of a sudden you feel like you're three-wheeling and turning back into it, and fuck, man, I was white-knuckled on the steering wheel.
I was like fully down for you to not drive. Like I was down for us to pull
I was just
over.
like, it just didn't seem like it was stopping anytime soon, so I just figured just keep going.
Yeah, the show must
Team
go
never
on.
give up, baby.
Yeah, show must go on.
Dude, that's exactly what it was, but it was fucking gnarly, dude.
Yeah. But even this morning, riding this morning in that wind, fuck.
Dude. And that's what
gnarly.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, like TB's kind of injured, like I don't really know, it's kind of sketch, and like to see you roll out and just like do your thing regardless was like insane, you know. Like says so much. Like it's not just like, oh, like whatever, I gotta stay healthy, whatever. You're like, yo, like these people are here and hyped, like let's do it.
And the thing is, you know, there's no pressure on us to have to go out there and do it, but just to show like the respect that we have for the Frew bros and everyone, you know, dude, bringing us out here, and all these people showing up to watch us do our thing. Like the least we can do is go out and give it a shot, and we did what we could for sure at the time being. For sure we're waiting and fingers crossed that we get a little bit of a window, but Mama Nature's really showing her face today.
She woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah.
Rags.
She can go back to bed and roll back over on the other side and see us, I guess, 2 years from now.
Well, hey, I'm going to get Win and Dean because they want to get back to Queenstown. I might get you on with Louis after. Chatty, thanks very much, bro. I want to get you on the full podcast when we get back from... if you come do the Australian leg of the surfing.
Chatty Clips, ladies and gentlemen. Find this dude on Instagram, Chatty_Witz. WITCZ.
Well done. Yeah, bro. Thank you guys so much.
But
Such
can
a
we
vibe.
just take a minute and talk about his fucking haircut?
Yeah,
okay. So for those listening and not watching YouTube, Tyler is going to explain it.
Yeah.
So Chatty decided to let DJ give him a haircut, and he gave him a cul-de-sac on top of his head, a helicopter landing pad with a couple of racing stripes down the side. So
he's looking fast.
Dude, he's splitting that wind out there.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is when we were on the jet boat, that thing was just creating like the perfect slipstream over me, and like that was the most enjoyable. It was creating a force field. I didn't get wet. Like everything about that haircut just saved me on that ride.
Proper wind tunnel and
Chatty drafts.
Yeah,
Chatty
dude, and that's how we're walking around out here. I feel like I'm just splitting through the wind. You can't even touch me. I'll see you at the bottom of the hill.
You gotta slow it down, dude. You're gonna get a speeding ticket.
You know, we're in a different country.
Boys,
Chatty Clips, ladies and gentlemen.
Chatty Clips, Tyler Bereman, you guys are the fucking best.
Bro, cheers. Thank you so much, bro.
No, dude, anytime.
Legend. Cheers.
We'll be back with our next guest right after this. Nothing. Fuck the wind.
Yeah, that was the win, not you guys. Love you, Gypsy Gang.
And we're back, everybody, but this time on the New Zealand caster couch, we have Dean Lucas and fucking Wind Masters, everybody.
Here we are, finally.
Oh, mate, this feels like a long time coming. I keep this real close too because of all like the background.
Up close and personal, mate.
Up close.
Soup's close. So yeah, Wind Masters is one of my favourite humans of all time. He's a guy that I've wanted to get on the podcast for a very long time. He's a guy that is requested to be on the podcast quite frequently.
That's how us mountain bikers get on. We request it. We don't get selected. You're gonna put the word out.
I know, but no, it's just because of location, baby. But I come to Win. Win's that big of a deal. You might know Win from Wheelie Wednesday, the founder and CEO of Wheelie Wednesday.
Yep.
So anyway, that's been the world's longest intro to a guest. But yeah, Win Masters is here. And I'm pumped on it.
Chief Executive.
CEO.
Yep. Of the organisation. Yeah.
And then everyone will remember Dean Lucas from his highly popular episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast.
What's happening, gang? We're back again.
And now, me and Dean, when we did it, first we were strangers, now we're fucking homies.
I was going to say, this is like the first event we've actually properly hung out.
Yeah, we've drank coffee together in 2 countries now.
Yeah, true. Fuck. Should we get a timeshare and something? Or what are we doing next?
Yeah, let's go halves in a... No, I won't say that. So, Win, tell me about Farm Jam and your experience here thus far.
This is my first Farm Jam. I'd
Really?
never been. It's been going for quite a while, and I knew Dan and Brett for quite a while, so I kind of just wanted to come along and see what it's all about and have a weekend off. Really, there was another race this weekend, but we wanted to come and check out the Farm Jam, have some fun, and do the pit bike race.
Which you, if it goes to a triple crown, you are tied for the lead, I believe.
Who you tied with?
With Bernard or Jacob.
Nah, Bernard only did 2 races. He missed the first one.
Well,
he had bike failure.
Probably with Jacob, but we were going off just those 2 for the Triple Crown.
I heard the FMA...
Because they have 3-lap races.
I heard the AMA actually disqualified Bernard. No A1, no Farm Jam.
I heard that he's riding McGrath's pit bike.
It's a 200.
He's got a big ball kit in it.
Yeah.
It's actually a factory 250F motor.
He's
He was actually quite angry because apparently I stole his ride because someone offered me a bike and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. He rocks up and was like, Dean, you stole my bike. And I was like, what do you mean I stole your bike? He's like, you stole my fucking bike. And he got really sour about it for a while.
He takes it pretty seriously about it.
It was actually the worst bit bike you could ever have too.
It was a heap of shit bit bike. And he was trying to pay some guy $100 to borrow it.
He ended up getting a good one, but that thing got every hole shot, pretty much.
Yeah, well, he had the brand new one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, fair enough.
McGrath's one.
Yeah. He had MCs, the MC edition.
Yeah.
And yeah, he probably was coached by Axel or something for this particular race.
But back to the farm jam. Yeah.
Off that.
It's been a hell of a time. Just a shame about the wind for them. Really, it's worst case scenario. Really.
Yeah.
But at least we arrived yesterday and we got to see a bit on that quarter pipe and see Tyler do his thing. And
did Tyler steal the show?
He definitely stole the show. I was very impressed.
Yeah, what was it like for you guys to see him do his thing live?
It's pretty cool, especially like when you kind of see the level above, like you can kind of be. It's just like that next step.
Yeah.
There's a guy on a KTM, I don't know what his name was, but he was throwing down.
I think it's Benny,
yeah. And that was just cool to see like someone like try and be there, but just like it's not quite that level. Like there's definitely a jump.
Yeah. I just like wonder what it is with Tyler. Like, is it just the fact that he's so comfortable on a motorcycle? Like, I don't understand the difference. Like, how he is that much better.
Probably just comfort. He looked like he's just having fun and even throwing a bit of steez on everything.
Yeah.
The other guys are just jumping it. He's throwing the steez out.
Yeah, and like even him just straight jumping just looks.
Yeah, it's like people have just got that thing. Like, I was riding with R-Dog the other day, and I was going behind him down Skyline, and he's just throwing the bike like, upside down. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you? And he's just like, oh, just turn the bike. It's like, no, you don't. You're literally upside down, and he's just like, no thing at all. But I think you just get that style and that like technique, and it works for you. Yeah. And then they just roll with it. But I'm hopeless in the air, but I'll just go fast down a hill, so I'll just stick with that.
Everyone's got their lane, dude.
That's it. Stay in it.
I just do wheelies.
Yeah. Hey,
I was the back wheel guy.
So where did the Wheelie Wednesday originate?
It was like 20.
Wait, sorry. I don't want to cut
Rewind.
you off, but I'll just give people some context. So Win races for GT Factory Racing and does the downhill World Cups and the enduro stuff. So Win is a legitimate world-class racer, but he has started this phenomenon called Wheelie Wednesday that has basically taken over Instagram and is now like essentially a brand that you manage.
Yeah, pretty much. I just try and do a wheelie every Wednesday, going by the name. But
work's done for the week.
That's the thing. But like every Wednesday, I got to put out a video, so it kind of puts pressure on. But it started in like 2014. I was like, I've always done wheelies or manuals all the time, like even from like a young age.
Yeah,
I used to do wheelies to school when I was 11, and try and wheelie the whole way to school. So that was what I was into. But then it just became a thing, and I was like, oh, I may as well post these videos. Yeah. And it started with one video, and then it just hasn't stopped.
So have you missed a Wednesday since your first Wheelie Wednesday?
Probably like 3.
Really?
In like 5 years.
6 years almost.
Do people hit you up?
Now, yeah.
Do people hit you up like, what the fuck, man? You dropped a week. You're lacking.
No, I'll get messages if I've like not posted it early, like posted it late, and then I'll get messages saying, "Where's the video?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just working on it.
I'm just
or there's like some last minute ones where my now wife, I'll be like, "We have to go and film a video now," and she's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, he made me feel the other day. We finished riding and like we were cooked, and he's like, "Oh, can you film me like helmet cam down this road?" And I was like, "Oh no, man." He's like, "Oh come on!" Like literally just dragged me out of the car to like film him.
Haven't posted it yet, but it was sick.
It was pretty good.
And the cops were on the road while I was doing the wheelie.
Oh yeah, they were.
Exclusive preview.
Yeah,
we have a Gypsy Gang exclusive.
Gypsy Gang exclusive. Exclusive content to Gypsy Gang.
Dropping soon.
So Win and we go back a little bit now these days. We filmed a project together in Derby to promo the EWS with Wes Williams, which was quite fun. And then we've kind of chased each other around New Zealand for the last few times, and I haven't really got to hang out that much. But we got to have a ride this week.
Yeah, we got out on the motos, and it was bloody good. A bit of flat track moto, as we call it in New Zealand. It's just paddock moto, really.
Grass track, yeah.
Flat. We call it flat track. Yep. I don't know why.
Well, there was grass on the track, so we call it grass track.
We call it flat track. So you just peg out a track and go for it in the paddock, and it was bloody good time.
You're pretty handy on a moto, Win.
I've been practicing quite a lot.
Yeah.
You can't wheelie a moto though, can you?
Well,
I can wheelie that
now.
CRF 125.
Yeah.
I felt like I could belong in New York with that thing.
Yeah, you were killing it, bro. You were wheelie boy in that shit.
Yeah.
How long have you been into moto stuff? Like, is it a new thing, or have you always been into it, but you just didn't ride that much, or?
Yeah, just the moto started. I never could really. I was like, didn't have enough money to buy one, and I was spending all my money on mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And then it started probably 2015, and I just got a 125, and then from there, every summer, like New Zealand off season,
Yeah.
I get a dirt bike and just try and ride as much as I can.
Yeah, right. But so you always have like followed racing, and you followed like the scene of it all, but you just weren't able to do it.
Probably like one of the biggest two-wheel fans out there, eh?
Yeah.
I just love it, eh?
It's been sick watching you and Jats and some of the moto guys start to like interact on social media, and you are really into.
Well,
into
speaking
these
of
guys.
Jets.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah, that's for you, Jets.
Oh,
Yeah.
But like, it's been really cool to watch you get to know some of these guys, and you're obviously a fan of moto, but I think nowadays there's like a lot of moto dudes that are a fan of you through, I guess, you just like really being down to connect with people the way that you do.
Yeah, pretty much. Or just like, if there's something sick on Instagram or Facebook, I just comment. I like it.
Yeah.
And then normally...
You're not too cool.
Nah, I'm not that cool, eh? I only do wheelies.
Do you reckon it's funny how like you can start relationships that way just through like commenting on some random guy's thing, and it just builds into that?
And then they check what you're doing and they get pumped on what you're doing, and then it goes from there. And then you meet them in an event and you pretty much get on straight away.
Well, that's been the craziest thing for the podcast. Like you guys are both World Cup dudes, and for whatever reason, all the World Cup dudes seem to be pumped on Gypsy Tales, and it's been rad to like watch how you guys have engaged with it, and then now it seems like, you know, there's such a cool crossover happening.
Yeah, I think it's more.
Like all you guys.
I think it's more now than it was before. Hey, like I see it way more.
For sure, dude.
There was like no crossover before, pretty much.
No.
Like,
I think another thing, talking about Burner before.
Yeah.
Like that for crossover stuff was probably like he helped everyone out for like, because obviously all the moto guys like, what's this downhill World Cup guy, and then obviously that draws them into what we're doing, and then vice versa, mountain bike guys into moto. So it's just like everyone said that was like a failure because he didn't even ride, but I'm like, that was a win for like everyone. Like even though we give him shit for it all the time, like he helped everyone out.
Dude, honestly too, like I think that the way he was riding in some of those videos, I've seen a lot of fucking Supercross. I feel like he could have qualified to the night show.
Yeah, I just give him props for just doing it.
Yeah,
it was a very hard track at A1 though.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
Yeah, those whoops were pretty fucking gnarly.
It wasn't a standard A1.
Yeah, it was a gnarly A1, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen whoops like that at an A1 in a long time.
They knew Burner was coming, like, we need to make these bitches, we need to make them big.
We don't want that mountain biker going through.
It would be pretty sick for the sport, though, to have a dude like that, create that legitimate crossover.
Well, he did say that MC wants him to do it again now.
Yeah, it
So
I was thinking, why doesn't he come to the Australian, New Zealand? Because that's like not as much big pond kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like ease into it, and that'll probably help him actually do.
I mean, if he's serious about it, he should. And there's an arena cross, like, because I mean, I don't know, Bernard, but like, there's definitely like a wank factor around A1. But like, if you were serious about it, what you'd do is you'd go and you'd race like the UK Arena Cross series or like the German Supercross. Like, there's a ton of different options out there.
Yeah, build into it a bit more.
Yeah. But that's if he's serious.
I think he wants to go straight to the top, though.
Yeah,
that's Bernard's thinking.
That's for the green.
Yeah, but just don't tell anyone and go do it and just be low key.
If there was no videos, it would have happened.
Yeah. Fair enough. I know what you're saying.
Just go under the name Mike Honcho and start racing a different series.
I think that's like one of the cool things about this event, though, and like that's what Tyler was saying, is it's the crossover and the fact that it's not really run that serious is what inspires so many people to like come and do this event and like do really well at this event, you know?
I think it's cool when you're just walking through the paddock and you'd be like, oh, there's the best mountain biker, like Brendan Seminock, and then you got moto guys like Levi Sherwood and stuff, and you're just like, and everyone's just cruising around, and no one's really even hassling them or being like fanboying them. Everyone's just hanging out.
That's fucking New Zealand though, man. I reckon.
No one cares.
Kiwis don't do that.
No.
Yeah, for real. Like sometimes with me, when people come and talk to me, it's just like a full ear bashing of like people just want to get so full on. And in New Zealand, people will just like literally be like, say what up, and then it's like almost like they're too cool for you, and it feels fucking awesome. You're just like, dude, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You are doing it right. There's like some dudes I'm like, I want to actually talk to them more, and then they just dip.
They dip on you,
but they don't talk.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's like, I don't know, this whole event is just a crazy vibe, and I think it's a mix of like the location, the fact that it only happens every 2 years means people have to come.
Yeah, build it. Yeah, it's got time to kind of build up again.
Because like if you think about it, like let's say if you go, nah, fuck it, it's too hard, I'm not going to come, then you're only doing Farm Jam every 4 years.
Yeah, I get you.
Which is gnarly, because you're like, well, fuck that, I'm not missing out on 4 years of this shit. So I think just that too, it makes people like, they have to come.
Yeah. We were saying as well, we think one thing they could do is just put, like, you know, obviously the wind affected it so much now.
Yeah.
Like, throw in a couple of events that are, like, not wind, like, associated. So just put, like, a slalom in, put, like... Because if you get enough fucking people up there, or even on BMX or something, like, just have just like a Joker fucking race kind of thing. Because the crowd's already there. Just run it to, like, the left or the right of where, like, the supercross or the jumps are.
Yeah,
and then you got something going on. Because we went up there and just, like, motoed in a slalom track. And it was just, like...
Did you guys end up doing that?
Just on motos though, just on like the pit bikes.
Yes.
But you could easily just run bikes back down it.
Yeah.
And just do that. We were thinking like you go up on like 100 and then you like get to the top and then there's another track where like you tag someone in and then they go down on a mountain bike.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that, just for when it's so windy, it would fill in all the time and the people would still be stoked to have an event.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But it looked like they were trying to ride the dirt jumps, so...
Dude, that was
props to them.
That was gnarly. When you see the trees blowing and then they're just like still doing backflips over these big jumps, you're like,
dude, how was Hucker's first run? He went out and then he flipped that last big trick jump down the bottom, and it was so windy, dude. Like, and swirly windy. It's not like it's even windy to where it's like straight on, so you can just go faster, or it's tailwind, so you just back it off a bit. It's just like a fucking box of chocolates, baby.
And it was on and off as well. You get like a big gust and then nothing, and then big gust, and it's... No, props to them for doing it.
Fuck yeah.
The worst conditions that you could ride in.
I know, but dude, you'd probably... I mean, the rain for the dirt bike, for the BMX dudes, I guess they can't really fuck with the rain. But the wind is definitely like, it's just a no go.
Yeah. What did you see?
Do not collect $200.
Did you see when Dylan Long was going out and he was just like race jumping, and I was like, well, that's sick. And I talked to him, he's like, oh, like people are here to watch, I'm just gonna go, and it just looked like he's doing moto. It's just moto, and then you see like the freestyle guys, obviously they're not used to that, so they're jumping, just getting blown, and it's just like, it's sketchy to watch. I didn't even want to watch it. Hey, you watch someone land like 2 meters off to where they were gonna land, you're just like, fuck, just pack it up.
Tyler, dude, like, I'm never the guy that is gonna doubt people's ability or try and stop someone from doing something that they want to do. But I was like, hey man, like, we should for sure leave here walking. Like, there was 2 times when he hit the dirt jump coming back towards us, and he just like started on the left and then ended way on the right, and I was just like, eesh.
Yeah, because I know, like, obviously in his head, everyone's there to like watch this, and you just want to throw down.
Well, that's what's crazy is like the respect that everybody has for the Frew brothers. Because if this was, I'm fucking telling you, if this was any other event, you wouldn't get a black on that hill, dude. You would not get a black on that hill. But the fact that everybody is still up there and just like, we're down to try, that really speaks volumes about the level of respect.
They just see how much work they've put into this event to grow to what it is, and like just get everyone here on their own farm and make it such a cool thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's where they're just willing to risk it, really.
Yeah.
Because such good bunch of guys, and it's bloody good spot, eh?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking ridiculous spot. What's like the standing of Farm Jam like in New Zealand, or like this farm? Is this like a bit of a cultural?
Yeah, it's probably like action sports, the biggest thing for New Zealand.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'd say like we don't have any other event where everyone all connects, so they've created that and built it into this pretty much a brand, the Farm Jam. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, where else really has all of this in one like spot? I can't really think of
No, not unless you talk about X Games, but it's so different.
Yeah, and that's like serious. Everyone's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's like actual.
It's very segregated. There's a lot of security around. You need passes to get everywhere. It's like that's the one thing about this event is that obviously you pay to get in, and like it's an event, but there's just no like. You just don't feel any of that event bullshit where you've got to like show your fucking lanyard every time you walk through a gate. It's not one of those deals, eh?
Well, it's funny because we got our mate Ethan here, and we're like, oh, can he get a media pass? And he's like, oh yeah, sweet. So just gave us a media pass, and he's just riding around on a 110, just jumping in, taking videos of stuff, and like they're happy with it. It's like put some footage out. That's cool. Makes us better. Yeah,
dude. Well, and it makes sense. Like they get it, The Queenstown just seemed like it was just popping off in general this time of year with the whole mountain bike, like downhill. A lot of teams are doing testing and stuff. Is Queenstown a bit of a hotspot at this time of the year in mountain bikes?
Probably like one of the places to go in the world at this time of year to test downhill and to ride properly. There's that much good riding and so many things to do every day, so everyone just comes out and it's pretty good, eh?
Because everyone normally comes from Europe, because obviously Europe's in winter, and then the Crankworks in Rotorua. So I think most people come around now, do like do a few weeks, and then go Crankworks, and then peace out back home.
Are you guys going to be at Crankworks?
I'm not sure at the moment. The
don't you have
coronavirus in Taiwan might stop. I'm meant to be going to Taiwan for a trip, so the coronavirus from China is closing down travel in Taiwan, I think.
Dude, I'm going to fucking Vietnam next Friday.
What are you doing there?
I don't know if you...
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's why I text my mum, because I'm like, should I like pull the pin on this whole Vietnam
What are you doing there? Is holiday or?
Yeah, well, we're like going on that Vietnam motorcycle holiday.
Which looks sick.
It's so fun, dude. Like, it's so fun.
We need to do it one day, Dinos.
I'm down.
I'm down with you. I want to do, so Jason Thatcher, the dude that owns it's like a full good mate now. And I said to him that I want to do like a super tour with just, there's no punters on it. It's like just for the fucking boys to go, and we'll take like a couple filmers. It is the most insanely fun trip, eh?
How far do you go? Like when you're
2,500, nearly 3,000 Ks, bro.
Just all through Vietnam.
All through Vietnam, dude. Like there's places where you go. We went through this one little village near the Cambodian border, and there were kids in that village that had never seen a white person.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It was that sick, and we stopped, and so there's like a support van that's got all of the food and shit in it. So you stop, and the boys make you lunch, like the tour guides, the Vietnamese tour guides. They make you lunch, and you just pull up, and you just ask somebody. They just go up, and they're like, "Hey, can we stay for lunch?" And then they make all the lunch, and then they give the families and like the villagers all the rest of the food and stuff, because it's like, super poor. Like there's not a lot out there, and dude, it's just so much fun. And then you get into the cities at night and you just drink, and it's just dude, it's so much fucking fun.
What kind of bikes do you go on? Just like adventure bike kind of thing?
Shit boxes.
Oh, just heaps of crap.
Yeah, they're 150cc Harleys.
But that probably makes it even more fun.
You know what it is? It's the go-kart effect.
Yeah.
You know when you race go-karts and they're so shit, everyone's the exact same speed, and it's the most fun thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this tour is.
Well, it's like when I went over, you just get scooters and shit, and like they are pieces of shit, but you're just jumping them off curves and just being fucking idiots.
Yeah, dude, it's so much fun. And you just see like a real crazy side of that country too.
Yeah.
Like very, very gnarly.
What most people never see.
Yeah, like that's their whole slogan is like see the real Vietnam or whatever, but it's fucking true, dude. But you see more than you want to see sometimes.
Yeah.
But which is like the sign of a good holiday.
A proper trip.
So, do you boys stick together a bit when you travel, like World Cup wise, or?
Oh, now and again
just at the races, really.
Yeah, Win comes and interviews me actually most of the time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Dude, we need to talk about Win TV as well.
Yeah, he's back. We're gonna say I reckon Win's like.
I'm on holiday from Win TV.
He's probably for mountain bike wise made the biggest career off, like I guess expanding into like your back wheel and a microphone.
It's insane, eh?
So like, because that's like a thing. You've got your brands, like obviously as a racer. This is like, how I said I started the podcast kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would say not like inspired by Win, but it's like there's other avenues you can go down. Yeah. And it's like obviously Win TV, it's massive. It's like the podcast things. It's like you can make that massive if you actually like put effort in.
Yeah, and it's just like consistency over time too.
Yeah.
Like it just grows, because I feel like for you, Wheelie Wednesday would probably, it's like, do you feel like it's got its own it's like its own life form, and then you just take care of it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's its own thing. If I keep it going every week, then people are pumped on it.
Yeah.
So just keep it going. It's hard to be consistent sometimes, but it kind of puts pressure on as well. But then it takes pressure off some of your racing, so that's quite nice.
Have you, would you say that, like, it's made you better at other aspects of, like, business, or because it's forced you to do something so regularly, and there's, like, because, like we were saying before, you know, people will be like, where the fuck is it? You know, you're, like, kind of accountable. Like, has that accountability led to just other good shit?
Pretty much, because then I try and be consistent with all my social media or content and stuff, and I enjoy making that and building it into something. Just keep it going.
Where did that even come from, to want, like, to enjoy content? What is it that you
I don't know,
enjoy?
I just like making videos when I was like, started in 2009, like just after I'd started racing pretty much.
Yeah.
And started with my like first video, and then I started doing these Win TV ones. It was like this, I think this Kiwi sports show where they just rip the piss out of everyone.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that style, so I was like, oh, we need to do that in mountain biking. And me and my brother are both kind of jokers, so we kind of come from there at that side and try to look at things not so seriously.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, like, with Win TV, is that separate to, like, your actual sponsors with, like, GT, or is that its own separate thing? Or is it just kind of all mixed in together?
It's all mixed in together, right? The whole package.
Yeah, so we were kind of talking about this a little bit the other day, and we thought it'd be cool to talk about, is just, like, I guess the financials behind being a full-time like mountain bike athlete. It's kind of gnarly, because in my head, I don't obviously know the figures that guys get paid, but there's so many fucking mountain bikes that get sold. There's so many brands that sell these fucking things. They're so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like, more expensive than a moto, yet you cunts are all broke.
Well, we were talking about this.
Get it.
We were talking about this the other day, because it's a bit of a joke, even with like prize money at races. Like World Cup numbers keep getting bigger and bigger, more attendance. You got to obviously pay to go to most of them. Our prize money is fucking terrible.
What does it take to, or like, what do you get to win a World Cup?
For prize money wise, I got 7th at Lenzerheide and I won €310. For 7th in the world. I'd make more at a local race at home.
You might have got to Adelaide with that amount of money.
Like you get obviously sponsor money is the only way you can make it happen, and then
but even that, there's not a lot of sponsor money, right?
No, you got it literally
at the top end. There's a fair amount, but then it drops pretty quick. It drops
right off. But I guess that's with moto as well. Literally, it's like top 10, you're good, and then after that, it's just like drops down. But
I get it with moto in a way though, because it's like the fucking the cost associated. Like, you can't put a motorcycle in a bag. That thing has to go in a semi around the country. That the semi bill, like the fuel bill to races, was for JDR was fucking remarkable, dude.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like, it was so insane, even to the point where it's like when it goes, say if you run one of those kind of random East Coast races for the West Coast, it's like there's 15 grand that the team just has to cough up just in fucking fuel. So it's like those costs, dude, just aren't applicable to mountain bikes. Like, you can travel with them in a bag. You don't need crazy mechanics, the spare, like,
it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it seems so much fucking easier.
The other thing as well with, like, I was talking to Scott this year when I signed with them, and they were telling me, like, skiing, motocross, running, all their, like, other things they invest money into, like, they've all kind of plateaued. Like, they're still doing well, but they've plateaued. Mountain biking just keeps growing and growing and growing. But like you say, the money doesn't keep growing for the athletes, so it's a bit like, when's that going to go up with it and match it? Because it's massive now. Like, I was talking to the Red Bull people, and like views have doubled, attendance has doubled. Like, everything's getting bigger.
There's not many other sports that are growing at that rate, or even growing at all. So it's like, it does need to grow for the athletes as well.
But then you look at someone like yourself, and even you've got your own podcast, you do a lot of your own shit. It's like, are we just in the era now where you need to, as a professional athlete, say, fuck that, I'm going to get my own money? It's hard though, because like, you've got a brand, but you're semi, So it's like, I don't know, is that the line that needs to get drawn to where it's like, okay, I'm going to ride for your team, I'm going to do this, but then I have my own brand off the side. And it's like, either you come up with the money, bridge the gap, and then you guys own everything, or I own this part of my career, you own that part, because like that's what the music industry's like now. You'll get guys where back in the day it was, well, not even back in the day, like people still get like those full 360 deals where it's like the record label owns everything, and then you get some bands that are like, no, you can do the release, you can do the fucking all of that shit, everything digital, blah blah blah, but we get our merch, we get our touring.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like maybe that's the way of the future, is like guys just have to start taking their brands more seriously, and then, you know, working on monetizing those brands. But then it's like, but then you're not being a racer.
Yeah, it's like how, like you say with the podcast thing, it's like I shouldn't have to do that to like
make ends meet.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's something I think I think people just want to be entertained, eh?
Fucking
like we're
oath.
literally just entertainers.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
if you can entertain them or talk to them, like that's what you got to do. So it's just like, if you find other avenues, but it's just like, we shouldn't have to do it if you're being like the best
One
in
of
the
the best
world.
in the world,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I think it's just, if you can and it works, do it. But I think you just kind of got to find a good happy medium between maybe sponsors and then like other avenues you can go down. And then even if you balance like your own sponsors along with different things, and like have like just say, because a lot of the time we were talking about this today, like the team kind of owns you in a way with their sponsors attached to the team.
Yeah.
But if you can get ones personal and stuff, you can work it a lot better.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like I actually just signed a deal like 2 days ago for my podcast. I'm finally getting money into that.
Oh,
and
sick.
that's just like, that was never the goal, but it kind of worked out that way. And like you say, like you shouldn't have to do that to make more money, but more numbers, people watch it, it gets out there. If you can do that, like keep doing it.
It's all skills too, I guess, at the end of the day, like because the racing thing doesn't last forever.
But a lot of guys just focus on that racing thing, so it's quite good to have something else as well,
Yeah.
I think. And then you're building your own skills for the future as well.
Yeah, well, look at
And-
you at a race. Just say you have a terrible race, get a flat tire or something. It's like, well, then
Does
you go
anyone
chat to
care?
people.
No,
Like fan wise?
they care less probably about the racing than they want to see the video afterwards.
Yeah.
Like the Win TV or the Wheelie or whatever. Pretty much they're all about the Win TV.
Yeah.
In America anyway.
Yeah,
That was,
because you
like,
said
crazy.
you've got like
Yeah.
a pretty big audience in America.
Yeah,
right?
it was like crazy, yeah.
Americans are the biggest super fans,
Yeah.
eh? We went to Snowshoe.
But
Everyone
you guys
knows your
never
name.
go there.
Yeah.
I know, it's ridiculous.
We just
Snowshoe
need more races there.
was one of
Yeah.
the best World Cups.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows your name. You go down that track, you'll get like 10 Deans yelled at you.
Yeah.
You go to Europe, you just get people like ringing cowbells and yelling.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
like-
there for the good time.
They're just there
Yeah.
because it's there. But
Yeah.
Americans are like, will come up to you and be like something about you, and they'll be like, fuck, I've been following this, been following that, and like generally super excited.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go to Europe, and half the kids come and ask for shit. Like, can I have your goggles? Can I have stickers? And you're
Yeah.
like, do you even know who I am? Kind of thing. Like, not in a rude way, but
Yeah. No, I know what you mean though.
I had heaps of them coming up and like giving me gifts and stuff, like
Yeah, that's
heaps
gnarly,
of American
eh?
guy fans, so it was pretty cool, yeah.
It's just sick that, you know, you being like, because really, it's just, you're just being yourself. Like you're just
Yeah.
putting yourself out there to more people, right?
And having a laugh after the race with everyone and give them a bit of shit, depending on who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah, well, I think one of our best interviews when I was talking about like a birthday special in Thailand or something, just stuff like, and that's funny because I actually made it onto the thing.
Yeah.
You know the best thing about that, my grandma shared it afterwards. I don't think she had any idea what a birthday special was.
I don't have an idea what a birthday special is.
We'll find out when we go to Vietnam.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Okay. I can see where we're going.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that. Sorry, boys, just had to get that out there.
yeah. Sorry. I had to think.
Where we go to now from there? Fucking Vietnamese birthday special. You've taken my mind away from the podcast.
Fuck.
Dean Lucas, everybody.
We've done it now.
Dean loves a birthday special.
Open to imagination, really.
Yeah.
What's been your who has been your standout competitor of this farm jam?
Well, Tyler Bereman, I'd say,
Yeah, fair call.
for sure. Like he was even out there when it was windy this around lunchtime today, just throwing down some big whips, keeping everyone happy.
Why is the whip the most loved thing
Yeah.
that you can do on a motorcycle or a bicycle, or why it's like the simplest trick, but it's also the most insanely complicated?
I was thinking that today because like a turn up or a whip, and just like some guy did a backflip like Superman or something, and then some guy did a turn up, and I was like, I'd much rather see the turn up.
Why?
I don't. Just looks cool.
It's just that much cooler.
It's crazy though,
And-
eh?
And if someone can do it like that, you can have so much respect for that. You know?
Yeah, I guess
like,
maybe.
Like
yeah.
how many people can do it like that?
Yeah.
Is that certain
It's like
way?
you,
Is
you
just
can
like
probably do the trick quite like depending on the trick, what trick
Yeah.
you do, but some of the tricks are quite simple probably to do because it's the bike stays straight.
Yeah.
But to throw it like that and just hear the engine just
Yeah.
it's it's that much
it's just
cooler.
that certain style, like you see. Like I'd
Yeah.
rather see a guy with heaps of style over someone that can do like a gnarly big trick.
The problem with the trick is that, like, I only really want to see it once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to sit like Sheeny's triple flip, triple flip, sick as fuck once.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Well,
see
this
it
is-
second time, you've seen it
Yeah,
already.
like I've already seen it,
Yeah.
but it's just, it seems like that's not the case with whips.
Well, I was
What-
thinking this the other day because you know how like Nikolai Rogatkin does those gnarly big tricks, and then Brendan Semenuk like obviously can do similar, but I'd rather watch a video of him just being
Oh.
style. Like you know he does those.
He's a fucking alien.
You know he does those minute videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you just like you can't not watch it. It's
No.
like something so satisfying about just this style, and it's like why does that
And
just work?
he connects everything to the next feature as well, which
Yeah.
is like insane.
Yeah, dude, when I watch that guy ride, he makes me wonder what the fuck is going on.
But
Like-
very,
He's not from
very
around here.
Nah.
very similar to Tyler though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same.
exactly the same, but
the
amount of
same-
bite, yeah.
Yep. There's
Yeah.
just a thing that they've got, and they don't know why. I don't know why.
Probably
No
probably
one
the
knows
same
why.
as watching Loic come down
Yep.
on downhill track
Yeah, you
and
see
he
this-
looks like he's cruising and he's just going green at all the splits. And
Maybe
you're
it's,
like,
maybe it's a Red Bull helmet.
How and
Maybe.
what is he doing?
Gives him extra
Yeah.
power.
Maybe.
I was
a
saying,
Red
I don't know if I
Bull
want the pressure of that Red Bull helmet.
No.
Like some we're talking about, I was like, that's a lot of pressure, that helmet.
You have to perform
That's
if you're wearing
that's
that
a
thing.
golden lid. Because
Dude.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like in the world that we know, we already know they're good.
Yeah.
But from like the outside, if you see a person with a Red Bull helmet, like
You
that
just
guy's good.
Yep, you would
Yeah.
just expect it. Huh?
So then it's like everyone knows you got to throw down, not just the people in this kind of
And then-
circle.
Then back to where we were before, everyone from the outside probably thinks they're just killing it,
yeah.
like financially.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, true. huh?
But
They might
but
not.
deep down, most of them probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're
Yeah.
right, dude. I think that, like, speaking on Tyler with the whole Red Bull helmet thing, I think that Red Bull helmet is one of the things that got him back to win X Games, because it's like he felt so much weight of that thing being on his head
Yeah.
that he was like, and he's going through this crazy rehab, but he knows he's got all the best doctors, he's got the best facility, he's got the best rehab, everyone is like the best that's connected to that company. So there's just for him to come back and suck, there's literally no excuse. Or for him not to put, like, the only way he would have not come back for that X Games is if he just didn't put in enough work.
Yeah, and I think with this as well, it's like, because I know in obviously motocross and our sport, like you have a lot of self-doubt sometimes. Like sometimes you'll be like, what the fuck
Yeah.
am I doing? And then I think maybe even seeing that like Red Bull helmet, just be like, no, I'm here for a fucking reason. I'm the best in the world at this. And then that can lift you up as well. Because I know I'll have days riding where I'll just be like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I have other days where I'll just be like, ride perfect. I'll be like, no, like I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
I've made it this far. But like they can be 3 days apart or 2 days apart, and it's just funny. But same with him, if he was injured and just maybe coming back, and then he kind of like the whole Red Bull thing can lift you. Like I'm the
Yeah.
best in the world. I got this fucking helmet for a reason. I'm here for a reason. Let's do it. And that can pull you out of a hole sometimes if
And
you're like
all
not
the
quite
support that comes with that helmet.
Yeah.
Like they might not pay him heaps of money, but they make sure that he's got all the support to come back,
Dude,
like in the best way, I guess.
oh, you're so
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And even, man, like when we rode the other day, I wore all Tyler's gear, and he only had a Red Bull helmet. I didn't even want to put it on. Like I got Wynn's helmet.
Yeah.
There's just something weird about that fucking lid, dude. And I just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
It's like what's a slipper? Who's that fucking
Cinderella.
Cinderella put it on. I was like, nah, they don't fit. These don't feel right.
But I tell you what, I felt pretty powerful with Wynn's helmet on. GT factory
You were
racing.
Imagine you put it on,
Factory
just,
racing.
it just burnt your hair. I was like, fuck that thing.
No, I felt quick, eh?
Yeah. Well, you came out really in that second moto when we came out and had a little battle there.
Yeah, that was a good battle.
I watched
mate.
the front, so you must have been putting the pressure on.
Dude, I almost did that exact thing. I crashed in the rut when my boot hit that tire that was on the left-hander and just went OTB on that bitch.
Yeah.
That was a fun little track, man.
Yeah, it's bloody good fun. Like super simple, but that much fun.
Can we give a quick shout out to Fluff as well?
Yeah. Shout out to Fluff. He's a local. He's a Taranaki legend, really. Yeah.
So he, I get a message on Instagram, a DM, and it was from like 4102 Fluff. So I didn't
0214 Fluff.
0214. Hey, I was pretty close
It's
actually.
a phone number. So
Right.
0214 Fluff.
Oh,
His
right.
phone number.
Fuck, his shit's gonna be ringing on. Text Fluff. Wait, text Fluff and tell him thanks. But yeah, so I saw this message. It was in my request, and I saw the username, so I just didn't bother reading it. And then I spoke to Win, and Win said something about the grass track. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh fuck, okay, I'm going to go back in and read this message now. Went back in, and then yeah, we went out and had a dope ride. Bro, we rode till like 9:30,
Yeah.
and then Win was trying to teach me how to do stand-up donuts on a trials bike, which is a fail.
That was fun though.
That was I had fun trying.
That is like the most fun. just a wet paddock, and then we went and did some donuts in the van afterwards.
You're hooked on these
Roll the
donuts.
clip. Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
'Cause
Start
we
one.
got the clip.
I love donuts.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. You just seem like the kind of guy that just loves any kind of shenanigans on a
Just
motor,
appreciate-
on a vehicle.
Appreciate that sort of thing. Yeah,
The
Being a fuckwit on something.
oh,
Doing hoops.
having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah,
the motorhome definitely did not do donuts.
it did not want to do any donuts.
I was struggling to get that thing. Like, I was thinking that was gonna tip.
Yeah, it looked pretty.
Did it look tippy?
It looked pretty unstable while I was spinning around you. Yeah.
We were doing like tandem. Well, I was just doing big circles essentially, and Win was doing donuts.
What's
Yeah.
this in the motorhome?
I was in the motorhome. He was in the race.
trying to do
Ace.
donuts in the motor.
Is this a rental?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, perfect then.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
That's what they're built for.
Made for it.
We didn't go full Jack Miller spec on the burnout though.
Well, yeah.
I don't know that many people could go Jack Miller spec on a burnout.
I like that he appreciates a burnout
Oh, doesn't he? What?
with that much appreciation.
I wish I had the love for that. Like, you just don't lose a love for something. Just
You-
imagine if
you-
you just loved burnouts.
You
Like,
don't-
that was just your.
That's Jack Miller.
That's your
Yeah.
thing. It's just like, fuck me, just some rubber burn and gets me off. Just
You don't
gets me
don't
going.
like donuts.
No, I like them, but just to that level.
Yeah, not to
Just,
that
I
extreme.
like, wait,
yeah.
like just dream of them. Just dream that.
I don't dream of them. No.
Yeah, well, Jack Miller does.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the funniest one-liners ever that wasn't supposed to be funny was Jack Miller being like, yeah, I fucking love burnouts. I do them by myself. And he was just dead serious.
I'm just waking up middle of the night with this itch. Just like, fuck,
If
just
you
give
do
me burn-
burnouts by yourself,
You're
you've
in,
got a
eh?
burnout problem.
You are in.
You're addicted.
You're well and truly a fan. Yeah, he was just saying, he's like, fucking got up at like 5 a.m. once and just thought, fuck it, no one's here. I'm just gonna do some burnouts and he just did burnouts in his shed, and he listed off all the cars that he did them in.
Yeah.
It was like,
you didn't stop at one.
no, he fucked like every tire that he could.
I don't appreciate like the standstill, but I like the drift.
Yeah,
That's got a lot of appreciation for that.
You've made me want to practice the
And the wheelie.
old drift.
Yeah. I appreciate Jack Miller's wheelies as well.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck, dude, those MotoGP wheelies. You want to talk about like a scary wheelie?
And the bike is not meant to wheelie. so
That goes to show how much power those fucking things have.
yeah.
It's like literally designed not to do it.
And they just all do it
And the
anyway.
horsepower can just still make it happen.
Well, he does it, and he does it stoppy as well, big stoppy. Bloody good.
Loose cunt.
Yeah.
So when does the year like really kick off for you guys?
Oh, it's not far away now, is it? Like Crankworks, what's that? A bit over a month.
March, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a pretty hectic March because they've pushed the first World Cup super early because of the Olympics.
Oh.
So we got to go like, well, I'm not even sure if I'll do Rotorua Crankworks now because it's like Rotorua a week and then Portugal World Cup. So I think
Yeah.
I'm just going to go straight to Portugal, do some testing and then race there.
Yeah, right.
I got the first enduro a week after the first World Cup, so end of March. So
Is it hard doing both?
well, I'll probably miss the first World Cup,
Yeah,
but
right.
pick and choose. But I do focus more on the enduros because I like the amount of riding you do in a day with that discipline.
Yeah, you're the kind of guy that likes to really be in the hurt locker, which
Yeah.
is just weird because like you don't associate a guy that wants to fucking punish himself that bad with wheelies and drifting.
No, you know what like when I rocked up, first thing he said to me, oh, you don't come do the 100k ride with us on Tuesday? I was
And
like,
he's just giggling about it because
Yeah.
it's fun to him.
And
No,
you know-
I just
Sick
wanted
fuck.
to film Dean deteriorating
yeah,
throughout the
he's
day.
just like, oh, he knows I'm going to be hurting and then he just watched me fade off.
but
It's on a trail bike as well, not a road
It'll
bike.
still be enjoyable.
No.
And, at the end of the day, you'd be like, that was a sick ride.
What about after, was it Valdesol, you rode like 200, 300 Ks by yourself? With
330 Ks back to Munich.
What do you think about when you do those rides?
I normally just put podcasts in and just cruise.
He's listening to you
I
the
still-
whole time while he's hurting.
No, and I did, I did it over 2 days, that one, but
Yeah, right.
but I just put a podcast in and I just grind,
Dude, I have had messages from Win being like, hey, when's this going up? I'm out. Like he's already listened to them all.
I think it's something in the master blood, because I know Eddie's got back from like after parties and then just got just
start training.
On like a watt bike and just put in
Efforts in the middle of the night,
They just
still
got that
drunk,
gear.
at like 3 a.m.
and then it worked. Yeah.
Well, hey boys. Hey Carson, R-Dog, you guys ready to rip? Ready?
Ready to hit the couch?
Yeah, we're
Sweet.
gonna rotate. I love and appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
That's why we're here.
And then we're finally here.
I know we're
So,
gonna
yeah.
do a proper one, Winnie. I
We're
want
going to
really
go
get you in
deep and get into the other Jace,
this. What's the other Jace?
my penguin.
Oh, dude, yeah. I
Oh,
wanted
is this your frozen one?
Yeah.
Oh, up here?
Yeah. So we're gonna.
You've wrecked everything.
I don't know why he told me that. I'm not cutting this
Yeah,
out.
you could have just done that.
There's no way I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
go through the effort of that.
get the penguin story next time.
Righto.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the lads. The lads are coming
We're
up.
trading out.
All right.
See
Hey.
you, Gypsy Gang.
Dave,
Cheers.
follow. What's your socials, Win? What's yours?
At Win Masters.
Oh, just your name.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Dinos_Machinos.
Oh yeah, I do like that.
Mr. Machine Off.
I was gonna change it, but then all these people
Nah,
got angry.
don't.
All these
Nah,
people
I
got real
like it.
angry. It's like
I
the
like it.
12-year-old email that you never change.
I've still got
Peace.
one of those.
Thanks, boys. You ready?
Dog, you want this
guys
thing?
ready? Yeah, bruh. What's that?
Pass on the torch.
Kooky mountain bikers. You really want to talk to kooky mountain bikers?
Fuck yeah. No, I just want to talk to R-Dog. That is. I think it's Bereman's phone. Oh, is
We
that
got a
the
bottle of wine
wine?
we've been sipping on.
R-Dog, Carson Storch. Welcome to the Gypsy Tales podcast. Couple cool motherfuckers right here.
Thanks, buddy.
We just ride bikes, man. We're not that cool.
That's all the intro you get. I feel like sometimes that if you do it like just that real short and sweet, it's like, damn, these motherfuckers must be cool. He's not even wasting time on the intro. Tell me about Farm Jam, boys. Where are we? How's the day been going? Just give us a quick little update before we get into the real shit. We're going to talk quotes.
Okay.
I have a couple good quotes for you.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Farm Jam, Carson, how is it?
We're at the Frew farm. Frew brothers had us out. Sick event. Little windy this year for both moto and mountain bike, BMX, everything. But yeah, first day yesterday was sick. We all had good sessions, and the moto shit was insane.
Yeah.
And today, a little windy. We ended up chilling, and the moto guys kind of chilled too. It was like crazy windy, a little dangerous. So yeah, it's all good. We had some good sessions yesterday, and just kind of chilling now.
The vibes are still alive, though, I feel.
Oh yeah, they're always alive here. It's
We
just a
had
good
Chatty
spot
Wits
to hang
on.
out.
Chatty Wits is the vibe.
He's definitely a vibe. He's psyching, bruh.
R-Dog, how's Farm Jam?
Yeah, good, man. Second time I've been here.
Yeah.
And yeah, the reason I came back is because the first year was so good, and unfortunately a little windy, but still got some sessions in. Fun watching the moto guys yesterday. That's always a highlight of Farm Jam for me. So yeah.
Seems like there's something about moto dudes that makes everybody pumped. Like no matter what sport, what discipline, it's like if you're racing Supercross or you're doing like the shit Tyler does, there's just like a crazy level of respect. And why is that?
Well, I think it's all across the board of action sports, really. Handful of years ago, like BMX and mountain bike kind of clashed, and I don't know. I feel like skateboarding has respect for moto, and moto has respect for mountain bike. It's all action sports is kind of just like one big family now, instead of my sport is cooler than your sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, moto is definitely up there for everyone. Really respects moto.
Yeah. Yeah, like every time I watch Bereman ride or certain dudes ride, I personally feel like a pussy. But I think it's all relative.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
At a certain level, no matter what action sport it is, it's respectable by anybody, in whatever sport they're doing. It's like big wave surfing, that's fucked up. Like big mountain mountain biking, that's fucked up. Travis Rice doing AK lines, that's fucked up. You know, it's all relative.
It's a super good way to put it, because you think about, like, everybody's got their thing that they've just been doing and they kind of don't know any different. So, like, when you get to that top level, it's just like, I'd always say to people when I'm explaining moto, it's like, I feel the same thing that James Stewart feels coming into a corner when I hit the brakes. I'm like, fuck, hit the brakes, going too fast. He feels that. He just feels it like fucking 400 meters down the track further than me, you know?
100%. And it's like when I go ride dirt bikes, I'm learning. Every time I ride, I learn something new.
Yeah.
Surfing, same thing. I like progress. But when you ride mountain bikes every day, we don't really feel that progression.
Yeah.
So just when you try other sports, like, whoa, this is fucking cool. It's hard.
Yeah.
You almost have more respect for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you definitely there's like a thing about being comfortable too, where like you just don't even realize. Like the other day, you flip Dreamline straight away. Mm-hmm. You know, it was just like, that's just to somebody else that's fucking psycho, but to you, that was just like, that's how you kind of have to start a session.
Yeah, it's all your perspective, you know. You put in so much time. Like, we've been riding mountain bikes and doing the same stuff for a while, and it's all just our perspective. That's how we warm up. That's, you know, Bereman rolls up to a 120-foot jump and does a turn up like first go, and we're like, what the hell was that? You know, it's all just the way you look at it and how much time you've put into it and how comfortable you are doing whatever you're doing, and it's like relative across all the different sports.
So what is it specifically about Farm Jam that will make it to where you guys just can't miss it?
I think it's having all aspects of two wheels.
Yeah.
It's moto, BMX, mountain bike, and everyone's hanging out, riding together and watching the other sport. And yeah, it just goes back to having respect for other action sports.
Yeah. What does that do for like your riding though? Like, do you think that there's a level of inspiration that can come from, like, say, seeing Bereman or some of the freestyle guys, to where it's like they're sending it in a different way? Like, they've got horsepower, they've got bigger jumps. Like, is there something where that like translates back to you guys, or say like the way that Huck is out there sending it, or some just like full no-name BMX dude can just like froth you out? Like, is that part of what makes it so special here as well?
Totally. Yeah, I think just watching all these dudes do their thing in a spot where, you know, it's not super high consequence and it's just fun times all around and good vibes, and you see somebody do their thing, and you know, there's not like live TV or like a certain time you have to drop for a contest run. It's like everybody's just having fun, just riding, just having jams, you know, like moto, BMX, mountain bike. You see somebody do something cool and you just want to do it for yourself. You're not really doing it for a score or anything. It's just like a fun jam all the way through and gets you psyched, and then you want to throw down, and if you don't, then it's all good.
Yeah. And what about the fact that it's every 2 years? Like, how does that play into the whole deal?
I think it builds hype. Like, I came 2 years ago, and 2 weeks coming up to this event, I'm like, I still haven't booked a ticket, but I'm not missing Farm Jam. Yeah. And then having Magaza Fest the week before, it's like 2 events, 2 weekends back to back. It's pretty hard to beat this.
Because, I mean, we're down here, dude. Like, this is a trip.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And I personally don't compete much anymore.
Yeah.
And so to just ride a jam, it's what we'd normally be doing. Everyone just wants to ride, you know, and there's no one cares who wins or who does the best trick, really. Or I don't really care. But if I can ride with everyone and have a good time and then watch other sports too, it's like, I don't really want to go to a Crankworks event. I'd rather come here.
So this trip you've been babysitting Groms.
Not so much me, but yes, there has been a lot of Groms around.
Yeah. What advice do you have for these Groms if they were to listen? Just like your objective perspective on what's going down this trip.
Can I read your quote off my phone?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool.
So our dog has a list of quotes. We might go through some of these and we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
Hold the mic, bro.
Yeah. So I got a good quote from this guy right here. You just can't coach cunts.
You can't coach them, bro.
No.
Yeah.
And once a cunt, always a cunt.
And just like, it's too much fucking energy to coach people.
Yeah.
They really can't be coached.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a more eloquent way of saying that is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I can't really claim that quote as being fully original, but that's my twist on it. You know.
Yeah, that's the Aussie twist.
So is that the Grom scenario? You reckon?
I mean, we were Groms at one point. You know, you just kind of go with the flow, figure it out, and one day we'll be old. The current Groms will be in our shoes, and they'll have to deal with Groms.
So what's your advice for Groms trying to make it in this cruel mountain bike world?
Just figure your shit out, you know? Like, this shit isn't that hard. We're just out here riding bikes. Like, if you need to book a fucking Airbnb, just do it. Like, don't get permission from all the other Groms. Just, like, if you guys need to come to Farm Jam, book an Airbnb or camp, you know? Just commit. I think whatever.
Don't rely on other people.
Depends on the Groms we're talking about, though, because there's like Groms in our eyes that we've been riding with all week, and then there's like actual Groms who are coming up and they're looking at us and they're fans, you know. And I would say if you're a Grom coming up fan, you want to do this someday, just have fun with it and, you know, work hard, but also have fun.
Take care of your shit.
Don't take it too seriously, because that happens a lot too in probably every sport. But yeah, the Groms that we're talking about, just figure your shit out. You can do it. You're an adult. Like, we're not that much older. We're just, I don't know, whatever. We've been doing it a few years longer. But
When did you figure it out, though, do you think? Like, was there a point where you're like, fuck? Like, because I feel like the point when you realize that you are a Grom or were a Grom is like when you're not anymore. It's when you can literally go, fuck, I was that dude. That's like is that like the point where it changes and then you can just start to like figure shit out from there?
I think it's all just a learning experience.
Yeah.
Traveling, riding events, whatever. You kind of just figure it out, and then you slowly become less of a Grom. I'm 32. I'm still a Grom to some people.
oh yeah,
You
It's
just
all
got to
good.
you have to keep Grom froth, though.
100%.
That's probably the harder thing to do is like figure out how you keep Grom froth, right?
yeah.
I mean,
I've heard Cam Zink say that, because like for me, like I'm Zink's Grom,
Yeah.
and I just know like there's certain situations at events or filming or whatever where I get like this like urge to do something, you know, like this burning feeling of doing something kind of stupid that I don't need to do, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do this, but I really want to. And then I remember one time, I think it was at his fest event, he was like, dude, I'd like try to get to that feeling, you know, I try to get to the place where I like have a burning desire to scare myself and push myself, because I can't get there anymore, because he's been doing it for so long and sending it for so long that it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a trip. I was like, wow, yeah, maybe I should appreciate this feeling and take advantage of it right now, because of like, if you feel something, you should probably do it. It usually always, in my eyes, it usually pays off most of the time. If you're in the moment and you want to do something and push yourself and try something new or scary, it usually pays off. If you're focused and you do it, it'll work out. But you know, I just trying for me to think about like, oh, if I'm like 10 years older, like, and I can't get to that spot, but I still have like obligations and pressures to like be the man, like it'll be hard to get to that point if it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I
feel like you guys with mountain biking, too, boo. I feel like with mountain biking, you guys have so much like creative freedom, so much more than maybe other sports do. Like you guys were up flying over a zone looking for like ridge lines to shred, and then you've got right up the road there's Gorge Road, and then it's farm. Like seems like you guys really have a sick creative outlet.
well, we have so many options. You know, we have a hardtail, we have a trail bike, we have a downhill bike. They're all mountain bikes, but we can kind of pick and choose. You have the right tool for the job, you know?
Yeah.
If you're going to ride a big mountain lion or rampage stuff, you're going to use a downhill bike. If we're going to ride dirt jumps, we're going to use a hardtail. So we can really kind of branch out and, just right tool for the job. And I think to be like a all-around biker, mountain biker, you should ride all three bikes.
Yeah.
But I think they almost all feel like different sports, you know?
Yeah.
Like you put time into each thing. Like you can't just like dirt jump all the time and be good at riding downhill or riding free ride stuff. Utah, whatever. You know, it's like
is that the shit that gets respected in the mountain bike community? Is like if you're a guy that does do all of it?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-rounded
I have
drivers.
mad respect for World Cup downhill racers, and I have
Yeah.
mad respect for all the joyride dudes just doing slopestyle. And when you're that good at slopestyle, you have to put more time than, I would or he would to be a good slopestyle rider.
Yeah.
But for me and Carson as well, like we just like to ride all genres of mountain bikes. So to be a well-rounded rider,
It's definitely harder for sure.
yeah.
And yeah.
Has the industry or have you watched the industry move towards that kind of stuff more or less in the last few years, do you think?
It's hard to say.
Because I don't know anything about I don't know nothing about what you guys do realistically.
World Cup downhill racing is huge right now.
Yeah.
And there's so much focus to be a World Cup downhill racer. And same with slopestyle.
Yeah, I think the industry follows whatever trend is going the biggest,
best, yeah.
like e-bikes currently are huge. So the past few years, a lot of companies have put everything in e-bikes, and enduro, that's it's not a new thing, but when they went from calling it cross country or big or all mountain or whatever they used to call it, it's always been around. They just renamed it enduro. And for those, and it's still a huge focus for a lot of brands, and it makes sense because it's an all-around bike that you can ride on mostly everything. It's not a very specific bike, so consumer-wise, they can sell those bikes and use direct marketing off of the Enduro World Series. But then there's all these niche parts like the free ride side and the slopestyle side, and World Cup downhill's always been big because it's kind of the shit.
It's the supercross of mountain biking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then.
But if a dude's gonna go out and buy one bike, he's probably gonna buy a trail bike or an enduro bike.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Tyler Bereman.
Because that's one. Because that's one bike you can kind of do everything on. But. Yeah, when we were Groms, we were just dirt jump kids,
Yeah.
And it was either you were a dirt jumper or you were a downhill racer.
Yeah.
And then these trail bikes started getting so good that, the average dude is just going to buy a trail bike and he can kind of just ride wherever he wants.
So with you being, you're 32A.
Yeah.
With that changing so much in, I'm sure, the span of your career, did you have to actively focus on always adapting to certain things, or did you always just push for what you wanted to do, or how did you sort of play out your career to where you have this longevity that you're still super relevant at 32?
I mean, I just have fun with it. I'm going to do what I enjoy doing. And I enjoy coming to Farm Jam and riding dirt jumps. I enjoy going to Magaza Fest and riding my downhill bike for a week, When I'm home, I ride a lot of trail bikes because there's lots of trail riding there. Just kind of, just staying relevant and using the right tool for the job. Back to that, and
People really like watching R-Dog ride. I'll talk for him.
Yeah.
So
he's
no
been
matter
on
what video he puts out, people are stoked to watch you. No homo. Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Homo. They're stoked to watch it. No,
Full
I'll say
homo,
it.
whatever.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, you must have I don't know, or I'll ask you, did R-Dog just carve his own niche, or how have you watched his career and for him to stay relevant as so much shit changes?
I don't think he's gotten to the spot where he needs to stay relevant yet, because at least for me, in my eyes, I remember when I first came into the sport, our good buddy Jamie Goldman, who is one of the most badass all-time riders, insane. He moved up to my town and he kind of put me under his wing, and he brought me down to the post office jumps, and that was their zone.
Yeah. And
that was my first introduction to R-Dog. And from there, I guess, he's kind of adapted, but maybe more to big bikes. But it's just, he's just been having fun, and people like watching him ride. And whether it's doing Crankworks events or Rampage for a few years or filming, it's just R-Dog, He's not at a spot where it's he's fucking washed up. He needs to
So kind of like a Twitch vibe, where it's pretty much just Twitch just was Twitch forever, and
sick,
no one's sick of Twitch ever.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I feel Twitch is probably
know.
going to get to a point that sort of makes sense in my head now, because with Twitch, I don't think that Twitch needs to drop a project to be relevant. It's just he is like a lifer, and it's like people will watch that dude forever. So maybe that's like what our dog's got going on.
Totally.
Not quite Twitch level, but I appreciate the.
But I mean, I guess because
Sport to sport, though, it's kind of relative.
yeah, that's cool then. Because I mean, yeah, some dudes have to do like that. Their career is hinged on like drop like whatever the next project is, or it's like you're only as good as your last race kind of deal. But like some dudes transcend that shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like Chase Hawk riding BMX. Like, he doesn't do the most progressive shit, but he's the man and everybody knows it, and he's the most fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of like my good buddy Ben Ferguson in snowboarding. Like, he's still young, but he's almost like a legend in the sport, because like no matter what he does, he fucking slays it, and he's so enjoyable to watch. And it's there's those people in every sports, and
who's been your standout on the BMX mountain bike side for this event?
There's one dude.
The long-haired guy?
That dude's a freak. But the Aussie dude, I think, is Daniel Cincerelli, might be his name.
Yeah, okay.
Little short Aussie dude, insane steez, huge pop. Like, the average Joe's probably not going to know him, but he's insane to watch.
That's pretty sick that like a kind of unknown dude can be like the guy here that will like inspire you guys,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's just riding how he would ride. He's not doing 3 double whips or cash rolls or 720s, He's just like doing styly stuff, and I really appreciate that kind of riding. It's kind of like Tyler, like he's not doing flips and Superman seat grabs. He's just riding how he wants to ride and doing whips, and that kind of like awes me a little bit,
Yeah, that's kind of like Remy too.
100%.
Like he just has such a fucking his own crazy, unique way of doing shit. And it's like, it's not even on the bike. It's like the way he walks up the hill, the way he's laughing with his mat. It's just like, that dude's fucking cool.
He's just killing it.
Remy is like, I call him the Queenstown boss, because he like runs the show, like he's at Gorge Road digging all the time, shreds 20s. And then he's on the hill riding downhill bikes, and he's blowing everyone away, and then sick whips. Like, he is a very sick all-around rider.
And then the dude, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but the long-haired guy, just like long blonde hair. He's got like the mustache, and he's
Cody Gessel.
Is that
on a mountain bike? Yeah, it's
Dude,
Cody.
That guy is legit as fuck.
He's steezy as fuck. He's from Utah.
Oh, real?
Yeah,
Salt Lake.
And he used to come to post office all the time. Like, I've been to his trails in Utah, and he's just he rides his own way, man. No one rides like Cody Gessel.
Dude, he goes lower than
man.
everyone and higher than everyone.
Yeah.
It's fucking gnarly, dude.
He's like part of my generation when there's a lot of slope style and dirt jump contests in North America. He's like, we competed with him forever, and he can do a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
And he just slowly he like doesn't really have sponsors anymore, but he doesn't care. I don't think he wants to.
Yeah.
He's just riding for himself, and he rides the way he wants to. He rides a lot of skate parks, rides a lot of dirt jumps, and he's just like a trail boss. Like,
fun fact, if you look at his Instagram, he is insane on a moto. Like, out in the hills.
I think Tyler said that.
Like, free ride style, like in 2-stroke, all black, doesn't give a fuck. Absolutely
like
sending
leans whips. It's
Real.
impressive, and then you get him on the dirt jumps, and he goes low and high. And he's really fun to watch. Super creative. He's an inspiration for sure.
Yeah, that dude, he's been one of my favorite. And then you've got the alien Brandon Semenuk, who
Brian
is an alien.
Yeah, he is insane, man.
He's probably the all-around best rider of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
He's man, just getting to stay and like be around him for a couple of days at the house too. Like, there's guys like him in every sport, and they're like the super nerd, super smart, super different, and it's like they've out-thought whatever the discipline is that they're in, and they just like they do shit different because they've out-thought the sport, if that makes sense.
He's like he's a technician. He's like playing a game of chess with the sport and with everybody, and you never really know. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's just the way his brain works. He just thinks a lot about everything, and he still has fun, you know, like.
But it's his own way. It's like his own deal, like his own kind of fun.
That kid lives and breathes two wheels, man.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is ride his bike with his friends. And he might come off as like this weird, dark dude, but all he wants to do is ride.
Yeah.
And he's fucking smart, and he's fucking committed.
Yeah. And he's fucking cool.
And he's fucking cool, yeah. But from the outside world, you're probably going to think he's weird, but when you're homies with him, he's fucking dope. And he'll when you're homies with Brandon, he'll do anything for you. Like, he's got your back.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, man. Like, just watching, because I relate him a lot to Adam Cincerillo. AC is like that dude. Like, he's so fucking smart, and he's so different, and the way he thinks about like his perspective. I mean, I remember being around that kid at 16 and like wanting to just listen to him say shit, because he just had that vibe, you know. And there's another dude in jiu-jitsu, Keenan Cornelius, and he's got that same thing. He's just a fucking super genius, and he's like out-thought the sport and is a legitimate world-class dude. Does everything different to everybody, and it's same thing, like outside in, you're like, this guy's kind of fucking weird, and I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know whether or not you like that person. I guess maybe some of that's probably like relatability. It's like, it'd be kind of hard to relate to that guy if you don't see all of the picture, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not necessarily you don't like the person, but it's like you just got it's like super hard to relate to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting that there is like every sport there's one of those guys.
Totally, they're the best, and Brandon is the best mountain biker, you know, and he's just on a whole nother level than everyone, and everyone looks up to him, and yeah, like everyone respects Brandon.
Yeah, it was definitely cool to like just be around and like see him do shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Even just him just like chilling, cruising, it's always like, fuck, like he's
on some other shit.
He's just full commit. I feel like he's been so 100% committed to the sport for so long, you know, and like so above everybody for so long that it's like.
But he doesn't have like an ego like that though, you know.
Not at all.
He's super mellow. Yeah, he just does his thing, and he's super hyper focused on what he's doing, and in his mind, I feel like nothing else matters, and he's just focusing on his shit, and that's it.
Yeah, no, it's fucking been dope to watch.
Yeah.
So, Carson talked about your career and where you are in the sport. So, I want you to explain where Carson is in the sport currently.
Gladly. So, yeah, I just remember Carson coming down to Aptos, riding post office, just total grom, like kind of chasing the slope style dream a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, we actually shared a few lines at Rampage together when we were both kind of new to the downhill bike world. And I think we did it for 2 years. We like built a line together.
14 and 15.
Yeah, and then he came back in 2016, and he was just on a whole nother level, dude. Like, he was looking to get that top 10 spot, and he just took, and then he got a lot of, is that when he signed with Red Bull? Was that 17? 16 or 17?
15, end of 15, yeah.
Okay, once the Red Bull thing kicked in, Carson just clicked into fourth, and he was just like, I am gonna like succeed here. And he really took the downhill bike style riding, free ride, big mountain stuff to a whole nother level, and it's been really cool to watch because I stepped back a little bit from, like, we shared a line, and then he comes back the next year, and I was like, I'm not going to hit that shit.
And you're not even sharing a park.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. He created his own event, the Black Sage, and all the homies go to that, and but he still rides all the bikes too, you know, like he's out here dirt jumping, he trail rides, he's still progressing the sport, which is fucking insane, because how old are you now?
26.
26.
Old.
Yeah, you're washed.
Old dude.
Feel
OG. It's interesting what you said about that Red Bull helmet, because like when Masters and Dean Lucas were there just before, and they were talking about the pressure that, so what Dean said, which was a pretty cool way of looking at it, is he goes, man, I just have days where like I just doubt my ability so much, and he's like, and I wonder if looking at a Red Bull helmet when you're having that bad day gives you the confirmation of like, no, you know what, I am one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world. And it's like, it's just a constant reminder of like the level that you have achieved. Like, so did you, for R-Dog to say that you stepped it up after that helmet, like, was there that similar feeling?
Yeah, I think it took time. Well, I have one question. Was that Dean Wilson that was doing?
Dean Lucas.
Oh, Dean Lucas. Fuck, they said Dean Wilson. I was like, shit, I gotta go get an autograph. Fucking draw him out.
Shout out to Dean.
Yeah, he's sick.
Fucking man.
Yeah, when I first signed with Red Bull, it was 2015, we shared a line. I got hurt practice before the qualifications, and then the whole plan was with them. I didn't know, but they were gonna give me a helmet and sign me, and then I was gonna ride finals after I qualified. So it was a super preemptive thing. They're like, "Oh, we just expect you to qualify, and then you ride the final."
How's it gonna work? So you were gonna ride the qualifying without a Red Bull helmet?
Yeah, and then I didn't even know about it. It was their plan, and then
that's kind of cool.
They assumed I was going to qualify, which maybe I would. I don't really remember how it was all going.
Well, we shared a line, and I qualified, and you definitely would have rode better than me. So he was going to qualify.
Yeah. And then I ended up getting hurt. Didn't do the qualifier, and then they obviously still gave me the deal. But I just felt kind of weird. Like it was an instant, like huge pressure on my back.
Yeah.
Like fuck. Like now I'm wearing a Red Bull hat, and I walked up to the finals day, and I honestly felt like a douche. I was like, wow, like I have a Red Bull hat. And it might have just been me. Like a lot of the guys, like Aggie and Brandon and all the big dogs, you know, they're all like, "Oh, like you look good in a Red Bull hat, like good work." But in my head, I was like, "Fuck!" Like I felt like I needed to prove myself. And this is kind of going back a little bit. This is something I wanted to say, and then I just didn't say it.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
But about the Grom thing is like, if I have advice, is like, once I got to the point where I felt like I didn't have to prove myself to everybody all the time, like anytime I rode any sessions, even if it was fun, that's when I started actually like succeeding, because I was riding better, because I was having more fun, because I didn't feel like I had to prove myself to everybody, you know? And it's kind of like today, it's super windy, and it's like, well, I'm going to try and make a smart decision. Like, you know, it sucks there's a big crowd here, and you know, it's super windy, but I don't have to prove myself to anybody, so I'm not going to ride because it's smarter, because I don't want to get fucked up, like, riding in the wind. But so, for the Groms, like, try and get to that point, you know?
Try and get to that point in life, too, though.
It's like, you don't need to prove yourself. Like, if the timing's right and you're feeling good, or if you, like, work towards a point and you're feeling good, then, yeah, like, prove it to yourself and do it for yourself. Have fun for yourself. It's kind of like I feel like it's a better way to look at it, because that's when you find real success, is when you're doing it for yourself, not for others.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that's life too.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like, even with doing this thing for me, it's like you get so much feedback from so many different people, and it's so different, and what people see is just, it's couldn't be further off, you know? Like, you get 20 people, they're all going to say different shit. And it's like, you got to get to the point where it's like, well, fuck, none of these people are right. Like, everything is subjective. You have to just do the thing for yourself, because it's like, you cannot control what other people think. And like, you get fucking 10 people, they're all going to say something different. And it's like, then what? You're going to spend your whole life trying to pick which one of them motherfuckers is right? You're just going to do your head in constantly.
Oh, yeah. That's
totally
unneeded stress.
For sure.
And I feel like it's a Grommy approach to life, or riding bikes, or moto, or whatever sport you're doing, you know? Like, if you're doing it for yourself, that's the best way to do it. Like, everybody that's been successful and blown up really quick, like this dude Emil Johansson, he's like, he just came out of nowhere and he started just owning the slopestyle game, and it was obvious that he wasn't like there like a normal dude, like scared or anything. He was just like so in his own head, and he was definitely doing it for himself, that you could tell that he was just like passionate about it. And he killed it. And then now he's the man all of a sudden. After 2 years, he's won fucking everything. And it's like, yeah, it's just a way.
Yeah. And you can actively, it's crazy, you can actively see that in a person.
Yeah.
Being in it for the right reasons.
Yeah. What's up, TV? Oh, they are? All right, we'll wrap this. How long? 5. Okay, we got to finish this Red Bull helmet story.
Okay, yeah, real quick. Yeah, so when I first signed, it like created a pressure on me, and it lasted for a while actually, like a lot of the way through 2016. It was like a really, really rough year for me because like I worked really hard and like tried really hard with the whole slopestyle thing, and that was like my dream, you know, like the slopestyle dream. Just like a lot of kids coming up in the sport.
Because that's like the big sexy thing to do, like.
Yeah, and it's like the best way to get into the sport and build your name up, I feel like, at least at that time.
Yeah.
And I put in all this work and then, you know, trained and rode really hard and pushed myself all the time. And then I got this Red Bull helmet and it created more pressure. And then, you know, I kind of blew it at some of the bigger contests, you know, and then I got pushed out of it because, like, the World Tour ranking, I just got pushed out of the big contest. And then it was like, wow, I just signed with Red Bull and now they signed me as a slopestyle guy and now I'm pushed out of it. Like, what am I going to do? And then when I came into Rampage that year, and that same year, my good buddy Kelly McGarry died, and that's kind of why we're here now, you know, like Magaza Fest. And that like fucked me up. Like it fucked me up all year. Took like probably a whole year to get over that, or like over the hump. No, I wasn't, but yeah, he was just a good buddy, and it like it made me not want to ride bikes, even though he didn't die like from riding bikes. Really, it was kind of a freak accident, cardiac arrest, and fucked me up all year. And then when I came around, I just came into Rampage that year like thinking, you know, I'm just gonna go with the flow and do it for myself and have fun with it. And that's kind of what I've been talking about this whole time, is just doing it for myself. So I came in and I was like, I'm not gonna hold myself back. I'm not gonna like think about what other people think of my riding or whatever. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And then I ended up getting third place and best trick, and then it completely changed the direction of my career, you know. And that's when, you know, I don't know, the whole Red Bull thing, it's like a blessing and a curse, you know. It just puts a bunch of pressure on whatever athlete it is, because all of a sudden you're like elevated to this position where you're on the same team with Pastrana and like the biggest legends of every sport. It's like you're expected to be like the best. But yeah, the whole Rampage thing, that like shifted my career and my life completely, you know. And then it put me in a spot where I can film and I can kind of do more of the things I wanted to do. I was kind of out of the slopestyle game, and so it was like a good thing. And then ever since then, it's like just riding for myself and picking the right moments to like really push myself and try and have fun in the other times and ride all my bikes. And yeah, so it's got me to a spot where it's pretty enjoyable. But
it's sick to go through all that though, and like out of the other side there you find like the Shangri-La almost of like what you're there to do.
Totally.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Like I feel super lucky. Like I'm super grateful to be on Red Bull. Like it's a really cool company. I'm not saying that because I ride for them. Like it's they've given me a lot of opportunities, and I wouldn't be where I am without them.
That pressure, man. Pressure makes diamonds. Like you kind of want to find out whether you fucking got it or you don't. Because if like you can't handle that pressure, then you shouldn't have that helmet. If you can handle it and you come out the other side, then it's like there is no doubt then that you should have that helmet on your head, right?
Totally, yeah. I mean, it took me a whole year of like
your
just
friend fucking
super
died though,
up and down, and like shitty life things like that, like real life kind of kicked in, you know. And it's like, do I want to be doing this? And you know, at the end of it, it taught me like, this is what I want to be doing no matter what. And you know, doing it for him, or it's I don't know, it's sweet. Now I just want to ride bikes and keep pushing myself. But it's kind of nice to just be able to have the composure in my head to like, okay, I don't need to ride in the wind, you know. I can focus on these other things, and if I really want to push myself, I can, and just enjoy the times in between.
Fuck yeah, well let's go watch these trophies go down, bro. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So yeah, Mike's up close. So I'm here with the legendary Frew brothers of the Frew farm. We have just given out the awards for I guess not the ideal event in terms of weather conditions, but we've had a lot of boys on this couch, a lot of dudes that do events all over the globe. They're the best in the world at what they do, and nobody has a shred of a bad word to say about this event, even in its current wind affected form. So and I guess you guys can see that with just the reaction to you guys on the hill, you know, like there's just so much respect between every rider here for what you guys have done. And yeah, really awesome event.
Thank you, man. It's quite an emotional time actually afterwards, to be honest. It's a lifetime of love and labour and love, as well as condensed in the last few months, and it all just culminates on this one day. It's such an intense situation for us, and to pull it off again, we're pumped.
Yeah, and to do it every 2 years, I think is just, it's ballsy for an event to do it. I think it's sort of, especially if an event's running well and you're making money, it's kind of like, hey, we could just do this all the time. But I mean, for you guys to run it every 2 years, I think it gives it such like an exclusive, it's like, I don't know, just this exclusive vibe. And I think that's what makes people want to ride every event, is because if they miss one, then that's a 4-year cycle to get back. And I think that's one of the reasons why you guys get so many people coming. What was the reason why you guys did run it every 2 years?
I think possibly the changing dynamic of our family and things like that. We were just thinking our summers are, because we're pretty, the dedication to Farm Jam just took, it's usually early Feb or mid-Feb or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's Christmas. We're just like, we'll get this Christmas out of the way and then we can go dig jumps again. So, we're so sort of dedicated, sort of possibly to the detriment of the family time. So basically the girls that we have realise that we're so into it that there just won't be much time for anything else. Basically, we've got the farm to run, family to have, but we also were thinking, just every year it was sort of like it came around too quick. It took so much. It just the wind down and the crank up started joining.
Yeah.
So we were just like, far out. We're not getting a break at all.
And this isn't your full-time job, this is a full-time working farm.
This is this is all spare time, and that's outside of work hours. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we're pretty slim for a reason. We go hard.
This is one of the bigger farms around, isn't it? Or where does this farm rate up there in terms of size?
Yeah, it's probably on the bigger side. There's a lot of bigger farms, but we're quite a large scale, as well as being quite intensive. We do run a pretty productive unit on a bigger scale, and there's for this summer when we're preparing for Farm Jam and Busy Farmers, there's 6 of us on here, so it's quite the team to keep going, and there's a lot of animals.
Yeah, so what is this what's the background of this farm?
We basically we bought about 1,000 acres, which is half of our farm, in 1984, and we were just little groms with 4 years old, 6 years old, 9 years old, or whatever. With our brother included, we had one motorbike to share between us, so we went from a MX80 into a DT 175. Dad would hold the clutch.
XL100 first, wasn't it?
XL100, MX80. But basically we grew up riding motorbikes because it's the best thing to ride around here. You don't skateboard on the grass, so we were like, sweet, we'll ride motorbikes. And then we added to the farm, which is basically this property here. We bought another property next door. So then we were like, man, if we could build some jumps in that valley up there, that would be sick, because we had the opportunity, and we sort of we thought we'd do it. Obviously, we got sponsored with some excavator hours, and we were like, what better to do than build some sweet jumps?
Yeah. So how long ago was the first jump that went down on this farm?
And I moved into this, I came back here about 2004 and 5, and we started building some. Oh no, it was actually the first jump, you say?
Yeah, when was the first build that went down on this farm?
1985 with a 4x2 and a 6x1.
Yeah, right. So this has just always been like that dreamland where you could kind of just do what you wanted.
I think we've always scattered our jumps around the place. There's a jump basically in every paddock, whether that's natural or shoveled or tractor. I remember breaking the front wheel off the tractor years and years ago, building a moto track down the road, and then we built some dirt jumps, and then it was like, you got to go through a bit of a process to figure out how to bloody build the things and where to build the things as well, because some of the jumps you build, you're like, oh, it's a bit gravelly, but it'll be sweet, and then it's like, oh man, what a stupid idea. And then so basically the epic moment was when we got a huge digger, and we drove up the valley here behind us, and we were like, there's clay. We were like, yes.
Oh,
so
right.
that cemented it for us. And about
2006 we started here.
5? Yeah.
I moved into here in 2006 into this house here. So
Yeah. And but it was slightly earlier than that too, because we were building anyway. We should have had this discussion.
2007 was the
while
first
ago.
farm jam.
Yeah.
Actually, it was
Yeah,
before
yeah.
that, because 2006 we had an AGM when we were kind of going to be a club. We decided we should have an AGM.
Right. Yeah,
and
okay.
the AGM was just a 3-day pre-farm jam.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we're actually, what we did was in 06 we had a farm jam, and we had some jumps just out the back here, and it got rained off, and so we had 100 people in here riding ramps on BMX and getting drunk and stuff like that. So this is the spot where it all started. So it was about 05, 06 when we started like playing around with the dirt here. So but we've had, over the time, we've built good and bad jumps everywhere. So but this is the same. This is the right spot where it had the right gradient, a bit of shelter, and it's stuck. You know what I mean? It was just a good zone to be in, rather than building some jumps and then going, man, it's just a mission to get there. And the first lot were over a river, and you had to ride across the river to get there. It was like, man, it just didn't make it accessible. So that's why it developed, because things need to be sort of easy.
Yeah. Did you ever have any idea that it would turn out to be what it is now?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Like, I'd done quite a lot of freestyle motocross shows and stuff like that, and and Brett had done a whole lot of different things, like between us, BMX, mountain bike and motocross. We've been riding at shows, we've been photographers, we've helped out behind scenes and things like that, and we were just always, everywhere we were, it was just always a temporary setup, and it was just always in the city or something like that, and we just sort of started having fun by ourselves, and because we'd had that experience with what people want to see, we were just like, I think people want to see us having fun on our jumps at home, and that was sort of just where it came from, and we sort of knew that there'd be some sort of success in there, but obviously didn't think it would be just
as big as it is, to where it's like you've got that. Basically every single person that came on here today has said like, this is the best event in the world, and it's like pretty fucking crazy, man, because we're down here. Like, we are way down here.
Yeah, we are the destination. Like, Queenstown's just up the road, but we've always sort of tried to make it the destination. Like, people would come to, like Brandon said before, Brandon Semenak, he was like, I'll come to New Zealand to come to the farm jam. He didn't come here to do something else, he came to the farm jam. So that's rad. That's
sort of partly why we've done it over a couple of days as well. You need people to stay long enough to actually, for the weather to bloody clear up, because, it's like, it's so random. We've just, the weather's can be absolute shit, and so to be brave enough to do it, you got to kind of get people to stick around, and you got to just get people. I don't know. I guess we didn't think it would be. I didn't imagine I'd be sort of sitting here, but also it's one piece at a time. It's 13 years later. It's just one rider, and then another rider, and then a mate of theirs, and and then tons of dudes come down and help us out. It's just it's pretty epic, and it's hard when you're in something like that to see it growing, because it's just the same sort of thing, like it's the same jumps, but there's more people, and then all of a sudden you got Mike Hucker, who's come over like 4 or 5 times, and it's just pretty epic, because I don't know, like you kind of think, oh, we'll do this one, it'll be massive, and then you don't really think about the next one, and then it's like everyone's like, I'm coming back. So I don't know.
I think that the big thing I talk about it on here all the time is like people that are brave enough to add to the culture, and they look at something as a cultural, as something that's just positive for the culture. Like, this should happen, and that's how I felt with the podcast. I was like, this should happen. Like, there should be this thing in our culture of action sports or whatever it is, and it's sort of seems like there should be a farm jam, like whether it's you guys that did it or not. It's like, this should exist. This is for the good of the culture of what we do, and you guys were the ones that pulled it off.
I think that's a spot on comment. Like, we were just like, man, every other event that we've been to, like all the other things that go on, you squeezed in between, like it's just a bunch of mesh fences and portaloos and stuff, and you just like you don't get vibe when it's like that. You don't get vibe like that, and it's nice to go to a pre-organised jam and things like that, and I don't know, man. You go to like big events and they sort of like pretend that there's like a bit of camaraderie and they pretend there's a bit of rivalry and all that shite that kind of people manufacture to make it like a sick session.
This
and
means X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And it's like whatever label the industry puts on it.
Or just to say, oh my God, you know, like we don't know what's going to happen. But that's bullshit because they know exactly what's going to happen. You go to a stadium and you don't know what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to bloody happen. So we were just like, the random element of something like this, we didn't know what was going to happen today because it was so, you know, like in the end it was pretty windy and we were just kind of like, well, some dudes will do some amazing stuff and other guys will be like, oh yeah. So that element of it is just what makes it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been there's like a vibe that gets created too when you guys bring so many different people together from so many different disciplines. Like just watching Brandon Semenuk and Tyler Bereman vibe out over each other's riding is like so fucking cool. And again, like that doesn't happen in an environment where there's, you know, like you're not having to show your lanyard to some random security guard every time. Like if you're Tyler Bereman and you want to go watch Brandon Semenuk, there's not like some dude standing there that's like gonna let you through, maybe not, maybe you're gonna text someone, and you know, it's like there's just none of that shit here. It's like this is so easy and it lets things, there's like a collaboration that happens naturally. There's no friction to any of it. It just seems so smooth, and I think that in that's where you get like these kind of really beautiful, cool moments between these guys from different disciplines that all respect each other so much.
Yeah, we don't. Sorry, Dan. We don't really try to make it so that we've got anybody on any sort of pedestal or whatever. We don't kind of make it anybody against anyone, or no one gets any special treatment, which is whether that's cool or not. But that's the thing, because all the dudes are just normal dudes, and one of them's real good at riding, and one's just like coming up or whatever. So we just always try and make it like. Respect for each other, you know what I mean, and you'll find out what happens when you arrive and how you, and the rider judge thing. It just means that if you're you get what you're given, sort of thing. So
it's funny. Like I said, I was talking to Brandon Semenuk yesterday, and I just said to him, and before even thinking, I was just like, I don't give a fuck how good you are. It's everybody's here for the same reason. And then I was like, oh shit, that was Brandon Semenuk. He's actually really
that's
good.
Like the best dude.
But he just laughed and was like, totally. Like he was just like, no one cares. Like they do care the level. Yeah. But everybody's here for the same reason. Like, whether you've travelled from Gore or whether you've travelled from Canada.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about winning at all this whole weekend.
Yeah, because we don't tell anyone like there's even prize money.
Yeah,
no one knows how much there is, and we just make it up because that's kind of that's the problem with events and things like that is they say like it's a massive prize pool and it's going to be this versus that. It's like all right, whatever we can afford we'll give the boys, and that's the reality of it. Yeah.
Well, in the history of like FMX is quite a professional driven sport and industry where a lot of those high level guys, it's chasing dollars to make it work, and they'll go wherever they need to make that professional decision to make life work. And there's been one FMX rider who's asked what the prize money was before they came.
Really?
And they didn't come. And I was happy with that because that was the wrong intentions.
So like got a way of weeding people out.
There's been no requests on how much prize money, or no one even opens the envelope. They just put it in their pocket and go home happy. Or they donate it back. It's happened a couple of times too, where people have been just like, dude, have it back.
That's sick, huh? Yeah, I mean, and again, it's like that's culture. Like that's when you know that you're adding to the culture and you're not taking from it because you can. And I think that that like it's hard to be that dude that so there's no guarantees. I'm not gonna like get something out of this, but I think that they're the ones, like people that take those risks are the ones that like get the biggest rewards.
It's risky.
Yeah, I bet it is, dude. Just the fucking work that it takes, and like how spread out the event is, and like how much shit you guys would have to do to make this thing run, and then to think about the money that it costs. Like, I mean, I'd hate to even think about how much it costs to run this event just to break even.
Yeah, it's a lot of it isn't monetary cost. It's the
time.
physical time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff like the courses are permanent. They just need adjustments, and they're here for us to play on as well.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no rebuild. It's just they're always here. So we're always building stuff. This year the Derek quarter pipe moto stuff was all a labour of love. But apart from that, like there's not major changes, and it's more the physical cost of our time and extra staff on the farm, because if we put this amount of time into the farm, probably be better financially,
but what are we doing it for, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Work to live to work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and we love it, man. Like that's basically the guts of it. Like if you can ride, you ride, and if you could build jumps and you've got a sick property, and then we're just, because I think it's the duo. I think it's the two of us. I think that's what keeps us going. You know, like I help Dan, he helps me, and we just.
Because you guys both are more, like you're more interested in the freestyle, free ride, and then you're more interested in the dirt, BMX, mountain bike side, right?
Yeah, we've done a fair amount of both. Like we've both ridden motocross, and we went back in like 04, 05, we used to, ride freestyle motocross, and then we both went to Canada riding mountain bikes and stuff like that. So we can just, we try to dabble, but we never sort of settle. So I don't know, it's just one of those things. We just always loved two wheels because our dad and everything was into it and stuff like that. So I think if we've got the opportunity, and man, it'd be a shame, we just didn't want to let it die, because we just could see something brewing, and we were like, wow, that's sick. We could see it coming. And then a few years ago, we always laugh about it, but Tyler Bereman shared our Farm Jam thing, and this looks like a sick event or whatever, and we were like, whoa, this has got some reach, and he was like, I want to go, and we were like, man, that would be sick, because we were massive fans and things like that, and dreams come true, I suppose. A lot of work, but man, just to have like a lineup like this year, and we're getting older, but we're still pretty youthful, like we're fit and healthy and stuff.
Well, this should keep you young, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm
a lot of sweat.
40 in a couple of weeks, but for this weekend, you're 20, just like everyone else.
It must have felt crazy to see that post of Tyler from last Farm Jam on the Red Bull social just going. I think it had like 8 or 9 million views. It's like, that's your farm. That's an iPhone clip. Like, that's when you have a fucking gangster jump on a gangster property, when an iPhone clip can get like 8 million views.
Totally. It was just that moment in the Farm Jam history is one of the biggest moments out of all of them. Like, we've had all of the best moto riders, a lot of the best freestyle motocross riders around, but when Tyler turned up last year, and his first sort of ride in front of any of the New Zealand crowd was on that freestyle Frew ride up there, and he had that big jump and did that turn up basically on the first jump. Everyone just pretty much wanted to stop and just watch Tyler, and it was just
that night. It was just it was later on in the evening. It was that Friday night, and the light was popping, the jumps were popping, the riders were like epic. There was no wind. It was just like one of those moments,
dream sessions.
Like and that's what you do it for. You know what I mean? Like we've had windy sessions and it's good, but the froth's knocked off it. Like it's cool, but it's not epic. But a lot of the time we're riding here by ourselves, and we're like, this is amazing. It's just epic, and we get backed up like just by people saying, wow, the dirt's good and the light's good and all that kind of thing.
And you guys are like, fuck, you should see it when it's on.
So we've got to give people the opportunity to actually experience that too. So that's why it happens, because we're just like, this is the best thing ever. We've been all over the world riding bikes, and like Dan said, doing lots of events and stuff like that. The best riding you can do in a rugby park, like that's just got nothing on this. You know what I mean? So we're just like, this could be, it can be. So that's kind of roundabout way of getting around to the point, like, if we could do it, why don't we do it?
Well, like that was Tyler's thing, is he said, if you build it, they'll come, and the Frews built it. That just sums up this whole deal so perfectly, I think.
Yeah, he's probably been our biggest fan.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Which is epic, because like his social posts after last year was last event was just we've got our biggest fan, and we're his biggest fan as well. So it's just, and along with everybody, like it's so sick.
Were you guys nervous for the quarter yesterday to run? Because like no one had really that's so much work in that mound of dirt, bro. Like so much work, and for it to work as good as it did.
Don't fucking talk to me about how much I nearly lost the plot on that thing for the last.
Yeah,
Brett,
to be honest,
Brett pretty much
both
just left me to it because he was just like,
"You were over
You
it.
can fucking keep in your little hole." When
No, I wasn't. I
I
kind of wasn't over it, but we did have a couple of moments. Like I was just like, I got shit to do, and then I was like, fuck, I'll come and give you a hand, because I could see it could be epic.
Yeah.
So I was down there and I was just like slap, hand slap. Fucking, we spent some fucking hours on that thing, and we were like, and you know, because building dirt jumps and stuff, they have to be pretty tidy. So you know, I can lend a hand with a little bit of knowledge with, you know, just being that I've built that sort of shit before, and like you can do most moto jumps with like a posi track, and you can get it pretty tidy, or whatever. But man, I even though Dan said I left him to it, I did spend a fucking lot of time down there, you know what I mean? And I was just like, man, can we get this fucking done? Because I got shit to do. So we got to that point, I was just like, man, it was just a lot of fucking work, and we were just like, man, if it doesn't go off, if it fucking starts raining, then we're wasting our time. But we and
that's not a thing you guys are going to hit daily either.
No, that was the toughest,
that's the thing.
The toughest thing for me was what I wanted to build, but I was never going to ride it.
Yeah,
and I'd never really seen a quarter pipe to actually go by.
Yeah,
so it was just like I knew that the lay of the land there was good, but I also knew the hips were going to be real good. So the whole time I was just like putting most of the time into the quarter pipe that's going to be hit the least. Yeah, and the hips are going to be sick. We know that, but is the quarter pipe going to be sick?
But you got to think about it, like even young Ben, you know, like for him to get an opportunity, like if you look at Tyler's career, his career really kicked off because of Monster Cup, which got him an invite to Best Whip, which then obviously like laid out his kind of career in front of him. It's like you guys could be doing that same thing for Ben or for any of these guys locally too, to where, I don't know, I feel like that's it's like a different lane that you kind of are stepping into now, when it's like you're not just, it's like all this shit is you want to hit it yourself, so it's like you can justify it. But now it's like you're getting into that real I don't know, like you're almost taking like a grandfather role of like a custodian role almost, of like, no, it's like we should build this shit because you just don't know the opportunities that you can give people. Like the reason Tyler loves Farm Jam so much is because that clip was so successful, and from a Red Bull point of view, they just signed this dude, and it was like not like controversial, but like I know there was definitely a lot of people that were saying like he doesn't deserve that helmet, right? And then it's like you gave him a jump that showed the world in 7 seconds that he deserves that helmet.
Yeah, and that was such a wicked moment for us because we knew that it was the timing was awesome because he'd just been given the helmet just as he was about to come over for his first competition. So that's the time those guys get to shine, and for that moment to happen and just be blown out was it was sick. And just to be able to give people that platform, like we've sort of been doing that for a few years now, and it's really just coming in now. Like when you see the guys are coming over just to get media, like that's what and all of the local guys just get that chance, and they're just so pumped just to get some media so someone else will see them, or you know, like guys are just trying to start their careers in freestyle or BMX, mountain bike or whatever, and we give the chance to those boys to Ben. It's the Ben Wilson versus TB turn-up competition, and Ben's got like 600 followers, and TB's got sick. However many. Yeah, that's so fucking true, man. It's a level playing field, and like you said, there's no special treatment. It's fucking cool.
That's been our goal, like across the board, is to like have a contest, to make it a contest so that sponsors send good riders over to see us to ride our contest. But it's basically about as loose as you can make it. And so what we were trying to do was basically just to get these sports that we love so much, and there's a lot of talented dudes out there, you know, like early days like Dane Searles and that came over to ride the dirt jumps, and we were just like, man, people should see this stuff. These guys are talented athletes, you know what I mean? And we wanted to be that ourselves, and maybe we'll tape it off, but we wanted people to recognise the ability and the homemade nature of the, you know, everybody that's a superstar dirt rider has their own jumps.
Yeah.
It just, you're building your own, you know, you're building your own tennis court, you know?
No,
So-
it's sick. And even for me, dude, like, I've made fucking amazing friends this week because of Farm Jam. And it's like, this podcast will go out to a bunch of different people, and there's people gonna really enjoy this. It's like, there's such a crazy economy that comes out of, you know, just like your hard work, and it's fucking sick. Like, it's so, I just don't think it can be overstated, you know, like the importance of people like you guys to not just the industry, but like almost the community, you know, because it's not really about the industry. This event isn't for the industry. We'd say it's more for like the community, right, of action sports.
For sure, yeah, and it's action sports as a whole, not just the individual sports as well. And it's
in the original days as well, we're always trying to get the moto riders to watch the BMX, and initially we started doing, you know, the prize giving was basically best whip out of everybody. It was like, did the motos dudes do a better whip, or was it the BMX, or what was best trick, you know? That was the original sort of thing.
we had to hang on to all of our prize money at that time, though.
Still do.
What's your what was your, I guess, like, standout moments from this Farm Jam?
I got the feeling it was Louis Woods yesterday. Just exactly right. Holy shit, just for me.
Yeah.
And then also Friday night practice at the mountain bike BMX lines. We had like
God, that was fun.
70 dudes sending it from all over the world, all different styles, and just get them in the mix. So that would be my two favourite sort of things, was the epic windy free ride yesterday.
Oh, they were still going for it.
Oh, dude, I couldn't believe it.
How was Hucker 360ing every jump? 360, Oppo 360, 360, Oppo. Like, that was hectic, dude. And it was windy as fuck.
Yeah. So there you have it. Like, you just can't nail it down. Isn't that fucking awesome? Because, you know, you'll get a lot of events where you're like, wow, that was the top moment. But you ask me and I'll probably rattle off 10.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you have any standouts?
For me, it was just I feel like basically a personal achievement with that dirt quarter.
Yeah, dude.
Seeing it ridden, like not just the dirt quarter, but the hips beside it.
Yeah.
Like, we had the vision there for a couple of years, ever since we sort of started. Like, it was a dump site for a whole lot of road trash, basically.
Yeah, okay.
And we'd always looked at that lay of that land, and we're just like, that would be a rad step up. And then it was just all this dirt needed to be dumped, and we're just like, now's our prime time. So I've sort of had it in my mind for a long time, and then like I'd nearly given up on it a couple of times. Like, I said Brett didn't spend much time in there. He did. We all spent shitloads of time, and
you just wouldn't let it die.
Wouldn't let it die. About 3 weeks ago, me and Stephen Smith and Max had spent all the Saturday getting the final top layer rough cut to where it needed to be. Went back on Sunday morning, and it was on the fucking ground. Like, the whole thing, whole dirt quarter pipe had collapsed.
We probably spent 10 hours on it each up to that point. Then these boys did another day just hand packing, and the fucking thing fell down. You're like, you're fucking kidding. We had a spring. We kind of had a wee spring, because you're cutting into new dirt. You open it up for, you know, you're just opening it up for water to come out.
Yeah.
And fuck's sake, we were just like, you're
just devastated.
And then like we were saying, when we had that wee moment, like we were just like, I was just like, fuck, man, I've done a lot of fucking work there, and we better look after this thing, because if it falls down again, man, I'm over it. You know what I mean? So because there's a lot of, you know, we do a lot of organised, but we do a shitload of digging as well. So we're out there until 10 at night every friggin' night, and but when people go like, that quarter was amazing, whether it's these or that or whatever, when people go, that is the sickest thing, but making it out of dirt's pretty fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not a ramp, you know, and that's probably where we put ourselves, we stick our neck out a wee bit. We're like, fuck the ramps.
We're doing it off dirt,
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Yeah, that is hectic. Dude, the whips that Tyler was doing off that the left side hip was just insane, dude. And then, yeah, like, even just a random step up session that went down, you know, like, and that's kind of speaks to the beauty of this event too. It's like, you guys aren't producing that shit. Like, you're not, this isn't some made for TV event. It's literally like, hey boys, and even there was the thing of like, should we split you up, or are you guys good to run your own shit? And then everyone's like, no, we're good. And then everyone ran their own shit. And then like a fucking epic step up session goes down. Dudes start flipping. Tyler's like trying to nose wheelie off it. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. There's just so much like rawness in it that brings out like something that's even better than if you did try and produce it.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. Lots of people ask, like, why is it that you get such good camaraderie and things like that? Why would you mess with something that's so good already? Yeah. Is it a massive session where you're just like gathering sort of stoke? Yeah. Why would you even bother to say with it? You got 2 runs or something stupid like that and just go, right, all the focus is on one dude? It's like, man, you know, that's what it is. Like, someone could be banging out something and another person's writing another line or whatever, and so yeah, we don't tell people what to do. Yeah, you know, because there's no point. You feel much freer if someone says, here's a bunch of jumps, 10 dudes, 12 dudes, send it.
Do your thing, boys.
Yeah,
and it works out, right?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, this event, the fact that this event's still here and still going, and I cannot stress the remoteness of where we are right now. Like, there's really fuck all south of us on the planet, and there's people come from all over the world.
It's not far from Antarctica. No, on something that feels like it at times. And yeah, I'm like, Dylan Long and a few of the boys is like, it's damn cold even for us. And no, like he was telling me yesterday, it's 45 degrees at home, and he's loving this, like, being here because it's cold.
I just think that it cannot be understated that we're so far away, and all of these guys with no bonuses, with no, you know, because they're all professionals, but it's like they just, you know, you choose to be at this place, and like, you know, it becomes this almost like a pilgrimage. Like, now Hucker's married and got a daughter that's here. It's like, even that's not going to stop the dude, you know.
No, absolutely. Like, we're absolutely pumped to still, like, to be going for this long. Like, there's not many competitions around the world besides X Games or whatever that have managed to continue. And when we were in that annual pattern was the way that we were feeling. We're just like, man, it's finished, and it takes you 3 months to finish the farm jam. Like, we've got another 3 months of work yet till it's finished to tidy everything up and media and all that sort of stuff. And then I think that was what helped us keep it going, was that going to that biennial.
I think it makes it more special too. Like, I think that basically if you don't come, then you're going to miss 4 years worth of, or it's going to be 4 years till you can ride it again. So I think it's probably, I know it came out of necessity, but it was probably like the smartest, most fucking calculated thing, most calculated, uncalculated thing that you could do to ensure the longevity of it, for sure. Because it's like this little unicorn down in the south of the world.
Yeah, and the sessions that we've had this summer have been amazing. I had 22 dudes riding a couple of weeks ago, and that's where, like, at the prize giving or the spot prizes tonight, was just like, man, these dudes sweat their ass off digging jumps, and then we sort of use it for like this. So we kind of appreciate that boys are going to come down, and they're like, oh man, I've got to come down before Farm Jam, give you guys a hand. Yeah. So it's the intensity of like people's love for it, which kind of we're riding on other people's shoulders too, which is nice. You know, that's what gives us the vibe. People be like, man, I just want to come down and give you a hand and things like that. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the main things that kind of keeps it going as well, because we're just like, man, the jumps are there, they're sick, come down, give us a hand, and we can ride.
I think too, the fact that you'll get guys that will risk it, like you said at the presentation, like, you know, they'll put their body on the line when they, you know, you cannot be mad at any rider that didn't jump today, because it's like, it's fucking gnarly. But it also goes to show that the people that did, they're only doing that for you guys. If that was X Games, fuck that shit. They're clipping it so quick.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah, definitely felt that. Like, the guys that rode today were more gutted that they couldn't put a show on than being able to have a level playing field for a competition. On the moto side of things, the guys were just like, no, we're happy to run the results off yesterday, but we're just pissed off we can't ride for the crowd. They're there to ride. That's what they're here for.
Yeah,
they couldn't ride.
Yeah, and I think that, like if it was X Games or if it was anything else, those guys, they're all getting together and they're saying like, hey, it's not worth it, we're not going to do it. But yeah, I mean, again, there's all these little things that just speak to the work that you guys put in. So where's the future of this thing going to be? Are we going to be back here in 2022?
That's been a funny one, actually. That's been an interesting one. We've had mixed opinion on that one. Not anything because we don't enjoy it. Like this is, and it's hard to say the right thing. I won't say the right thing.
Yeah.
We absolutely love it. It's super sick, and we struggled a little bit for backing this year, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
right.
Like honestly, like our sponsorship levels dropped away a lot, and I don't know what happened there, man. I don't know. The events that get put on around the world and things like that, they've got a bit of backing, and it just seems like they've got a bit of money and things like that to do things, but it's not money that keeps these things going. You see what I mean? More money doesn't mean a better event. So we struggled a wee bit because we were like, if it's coming into this event, it was pretty bony, like we were like, this is hard work and this ain't money.
Yeah.
And then, so we were kind of a little bit like, this passion going to get us through this one.
Yeah.
And if it's an epic one, and that's probably why I'm feeling a little bit weird today, because we were like, it's balls on the line. It's full-time work for the last month to get this over the line.
3 months.
And, just an epic amount of work that you're really kind of putting your hand up for. That is it worth it? I don't know. So I think so. I'm not going to say the right thing. I'm not in the right headspace. It's like today's just been amazing, but also
so challenging,
but not as amazing as it could be. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like, man, we did a lot of work and everyone's stoked, but we could see, like, if today was epic and no wind at all, like the session that was going to go down, I'm feeling a little bit disappointed because the session that was going to go down.
Doesn't that shit that's left on the table make you want to come back next year or like in 2 years?
The problem is that
then
it's
you're
just
chasing that carrot.
The problem is it's 3 months work for that one afternoon. You've got 5 hours to do your thing, and that's the hard part, man. It's like balancing a fucking ball on a pin or something. But
that's what makes it so special when it works.
Yeah, there's the two sides.
That's the hard part though, because like I said before, you got to have people down to stay long enough to get those epic sessions. And that's probably the only manufactured thing that we actually do is actually put a time on it, because any other time that we have an epic session that's not Farm Jam, we're just like, oh fuck, it's windy today, we'll just ride tomorrow. And then we're just like, sweet, we'll just dig today. And then so you do have epic sessions all the time because you do it when the timing's right. But the timing for Farm Jam is just like 1 o'clock on that Saturday afternoon that we picked like a fucking year ago. We're like, what's the weather going to be like? So that's the hard part. So I'm not trying to be misleading or anything, but we're just, we'll stock take. We've got 2 years, so I'm sure the stoke's still there.
What's your answer?
This is, to be honest, like Brett's sort of suggesting, is the first time before this one we came together and we're just like, fuck, is it worth it? That was probably based around the backing. Once we started building, which is something that we really enjoy, building courses, making contact with all of our favourite mates from all over the world that want to come, that was when the fire was lit again. Like when we were 6 or 8 months ago, just trying to get the support to make things going off the success of last year. That was probably the most challenging time for me. Was we feel like we've got this most amazing thing, but to get the support, we need the sponsorship to cover the cost before we get to it.
And it sucks when the runs are on the board. It's like you guys have nothing to prove. The runs are on the fucking board. The shit works. People come. It's always epic. And it's like that, I could see where that would be the thing that would make you gutted when you lose support for something that's so fucking proven.
Yeah, totally. And the emotion and the vibe that's going around at prize giving.
Yeah.
When that was happening, I was just like, we're doing another one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the vibe when you get the Huckers and the TBs and all those dudes who are the best dudes, personality and athletic wise, just gagging for it.
Yeah.
That's the shit that makes it worth it.
Dude, me and Tyler, we decided that we were doing this when we did our podcast over a year ago. We literally said it on the podcast that we should do Farm Jam together, and fucking here we are. There's some magic in that, bro.
That's the thing. I think you can't navigate yourself around that sort of thing. People, you know, like it's not a decision that me and Dan make. We were like, man, how do we fucking tell everyone?
Yeah,
you know.
true.
And I'm not saying that we've decided to can it or anything like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing
But
like
even
that
if
at
you
all.
do, we'd probably still show up.
Yeah. We're not getting
Yeah.
out of the industry. If there's no Farm Jam, there'll be something else.
Yeah.
Like
We sort of feel like we did Farm Jam 2007, and the model is still the same.
Yeah.
And so we've decided to do what we had done back then. And is it getting ridiculous? Is it too many people? Is it too much work? Like too many individual issues to deal with?
Yeah.
So as it's developed and got so popular, how do we navigate this next space? What do we morph it into? Like, what do we change? Do we
Yeah.
keep it the same? It's is it? Yeah. So
Without fucking with what got it to where it is right now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make a good thing better?
yeah. So we don't like to do the same shit. We don't. I mean, even though it's got a long history, we're just like, we've got to change some shit. Let's do some different stuff. Like, kind of missed the opportunity to ride the biggest dirt quarter ever built because I built one. We didn't really ride it, you know. So we just want to navigate this thing. It's a big fucking boat now, and we just want to turn it into some good times, you know. Like it's a big ship to sort of to captain, you know.
And it's like a legacy brand now too.
Yeah.
It's one of those brands that's like going to go down in history of the sport whenever you look back and talk about it.
Yeah, we were talking to someone from the industry, like right at the core of the industry, an American fella recently, and he said that freestyle motocross is dead. It's all about free ride motocross. When we
No
think about,
shit.
When we think
Yeah,
about,
I agree.
When we think about free ride, we think about New Zealand. When we think about New Zealand, we think about the Frew farm.
Yeah.
So that along with we've done some pretty rad mountain bike projects with Brandon Semenark and the Anthill boys and all that sort of thing. And between that and the free ride potential we got here and some of our ideas that we haven't unleashed yet, I would love to think that we could move more into that field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got ideas brewing. Like, Farm Jam takes up a lot of our time, but like if someone come to us and sort of said, what's your next ideas, we could bang out a ton of ideas. We've got some shit that we were just like, man, this would work. And it would work because Farm Jam's the one thing that we've done and it's been successful, like with regard to how much energy goes into it.
Yeah.
But
the two aspects of, let's say, income for Farm Jam is spectators and the industry, like the sponsorship side of things that we come behind, and the media. So the hardest thing about the Farm Jam is that 6-hour slot that Brett was talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
If Farm Jam was run over 3 days with just us crew and us media, it'd be so much easier. Like the pressure point is on that time.
Yeah, when you got bums in seats kind of deal.
You do a film project and the guys are here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So you've got windows all over the show.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it hardest for this particular type of event is that 6-hour slot.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Well, boys, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're still very much in the thick of things. Honestly appreciate. This is my first time. I appreciate the shit out of everything that you guys have done for us on this trip and for just the industry in general. It's a bucket list thing for me to get here and be a part of, and to set up a couch and have some yarns here, especially to you guys, has been a really great experience. And if you guys run next year or in 2 years, I'll do my damnedest to be here and always do what I can to support you guys. So I really appreciate it, and I feel pretty safe in speaking for the riders when I say that as well. So
I really appreciate that, man. And you know, like we always think Farm Jam's cool, but if anybody's got some ideas and they want to bring a crew of riders over, and we don't have to fuck around doing it on a certain time.
Yeah.
If we think, rightio, well, next week we've got some time, that's the thing. Because the weather's pretty, you know, it's weather and it's timing and things like that. Like I was saying before, the epic sessions can happen, but they're just, it's random. So you can't manufacture that stuff. So what we try to do, that's the hard part. And like Dan said as well, we've got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So getting the crowd in, because people love it, man. Like, you get to, like, I couldn't believe that we were advertising. We had Brandon Semenek and Brett Redder, and I mean, this is like
one in the world.
Well, we got Tyler Bereman coming over, but we've also got Logan Martin, Brandon Semenek. It's like, how do we do that? So it's pretty special. So we won't let it die. That's the thing. Like, it's just might do something different, but we haven't figured it out yet. So that's why we keep doing it, because we're like, oh, it's good. Let's do it.
Nah, perfect. Well, thanks so much, boys.
And I appreciate all of the comments as well, and big fan of what you're doing. You're sort of, I like the podcast style. It's getting deeper. Like, because we've been asked questions in the last half an hour that we want to answer. Yeah. A lot of them, like, we're just used to talking to TVNZ or just like newspapers and things like that. They're quite shallow questions. So getting deep's good.
Dude, we could talk way longer too. There's so much more. Maybe we should try and do that at some point. Do like a 3-hour deal on this.
Should we start that at like 1 o'clock this morning?
Oh, no, I'll be fucked. No, but I mean, it's cool. Like, I hope that, I mean, maybe people don't even realize like how, like, the lack of support that you guys have. Like, maybe people even listen to this and realize that you guys don't have the support that is even needed, you know. Like, maybe anything I can do to help, I'm always down. So
legend.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate that, man, and thanks for having us on. And we feel it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Cheers. Let's drink a beer.
Yes. Unanimous.